Hello.
Hello.
Should be live. Yeah, you guys make noise. Somebody make noise.
Hi. Hello.
Okay. Right. We're all in. We're good.
I'm still blushing at Hannah with a hot dog.
It should be Hannah that's blushing. Breathing for her ass. So, welcome to Heavyweight Gaming, where we play lots of tabletop, mainly Dungeons & Dragons 5th Ed. Tonight is session 2 of our brand new campaign, When Glory is Not Enough. And it's set in the Toria. Second session, which means these guys have got like 20 minutes under the belt, because that's all they did last week, was walk around in circles in a cave, pointing at the pretty sparkles on the ceiling. I'm throwing priceless jewellery
Not fair,
away.
AD. It's not fair.
I got peer pressured into throwing mine, and I suffered for
That
it.
is fair. That is fair. So,
No, I said not to praise me, but don't need to shame me that hard. God.
well, learn to... No, after 9. So, the social media. If you are wanting to find out when we're live, what we're doing, what makes us tick behind the scenes, etc., etc., some of that we'll have to keep quiet until another time when you're all 18. So, you can check us out on Instagram, you can check us out on Facebook, you can check us out on Twitter. We've got a Discord, we've got a... Did I say Instagram? We've got a YouTube channel. If you look at the buttons underneath the stream, you can click on them and they will take you straight there. Please hit like, follow, whatever the terminology is for that particular social media. And you'll be able to find out what we're doing, when we're doing it, etc. And it's super appreciated, so thank you very much. There was something else I was going to say before then. Right, before we get on with like sponsors and stuff, I'm just going to do some quick announcement-y type stuff. So, hello Jenny, we at Heavyweight Gaming somehow got roped into making short films. So, over the next couple of years, I'm told 5, because, you know, I hate Dean, we will be doing some short films, all set in the world of Colossus, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, amazing, wonderful, beautiful. If you, and I'm going to put a link up here, if you are interested in auditioning for these projects that we have got coming up, if you go to, where am I? Ding ding ding. If you go to this link, Dean Hassel Media on Facebook, there is a pinned post with all the information that we're looking for and where you can send your auditioning. There will be lots and lots of opportunities going forward. The first project we are doing is a 3-minute short, no dialogue, all emotive, physical acting, no dialogue. A single piece of music called True North, so I obviously dived on it straight away. But yes, so go check out Dean Hassel Media. If you go find him on TikTok, you'll see he's got quite the reach of social media.
I follow him.
There you
I
go.
recognised his face and I went, he's on TikTok.
So if you are wanting to get into that sort of thing, or you're building a portfolio, etc., please reach out to Dean. He's looking to build a media empire, and we're going to try and write some D&D stories for him to film. So yeah, that'd be cool. Right, sponsors for the show. Official sponsor, Coyote Grey. Chibi tokens, absolutely love them. I don't have any of my mods here to do my special commands, so I don't know what they are. I'll tell you what. Let's cheat. Nope. There we go.
What commands do you need?
AD, just talk. I think I've got it. Just talk.
Cool. So, hello, welcome to... Let me get back there. Right. There's lots of stuff going to pop up. Roll20s. Do you look at Roll20 and think, this is good, but I want chibi tokens? Well, we did, and Coyote Grey thought the same. Smiley face. You can also get chibi tokens by following the link. So if you go to the marketplace in Roll20, I don't think I've ever read that before, but it's if you go to the marketplace on Roll20, type in Coyote Grey, see his chibi tokens. I'm a massive chibi art style fan. Well, you can see the characters that are up here, but he's got lots and lots of chibi token packs. There's like 100 tokens in each pack. It's $5 or $4.99 dollars. He's also done a Cyberpunk pack. I got them all. I use them on my Cyberpunk games, my fantasy games. Don't matter what I'm playing, I love them. Go check them out. Show him a lot of love. Absolutely amazing.
Hang on.
We're going on whatever Ray does next. Bardic. Do you want dice that roll natural 20s? An unnatural amount. Visit Bardic Inspiration UK for a wide range of shiny click-clacks. Bardic Inspiration are amazing. They play in my Tuesday games. I've got a lot of love for them. They've been around since the start of the channel. And oh my god, can we turn that down? I've got people being murdered right next to me. Yeah, go check out Bardic Inspiration. They do things like candles, obviously dice bags and such. I kind of sticking on their candles because they're amazing. Just getting that ambience, it's so cool. I've never really thought to use smells as an ambient creator when I'm playing D&D or anything. But when you've got stuff going on in like caves or taverns and stuff, having a particular candle really, really kicks home. If you're lucky enough to play around the table, that is. Yes, Hannah?
Well, it's like, how sad and like kind of cool would it be if we all bought the same candle and we all lit it for when we were playing this session of D&D? I think Bardic should make a specific Atori
I also
candle.
think you are right. It will be very sad. So
Awesome.
we will reach out to Bardic, and if
Amen.
they've got 6 candles for us to burn at the same time, 5 of them will be lit. So, if you like the chibi tokens on the front, on the overlay that you can see right now of these lovely people, then you can go check out Becky Appleyard on Facebook. She's not a sponsor, but she does real cool little chibi artwork. She's been doing it for years. We've had loads of stuff off over the last few years. Super cool. Go show some love on Facebook. First major supplement by Heavyweight Gaming for Dungeons & Dragons 5th Ed has arrived almost a year ago. Tasha's heavier crockpot of bits and bobs is 81 pages of subclasses, 80 new spells, artwork, everything TTRPG player wants. You can find it at DM's Guild on that link for $9.95. We sold like 200 copies of it. It is amazing. There's so many geekiness that put into it, artwork, special subclasses and stuff like that. 80 spells, ridiculous. So yeah, go check them out. Before I get to GSCon, you'll be able to see Sirenscape on the screen. We use Sirenscape to create our musical ambience, sound sets, stuff like this. Epic games need epic sounds is their catch line, and it's true. You need it. If you're playing around the table and you want dragon fire and orcs screaming, or a tavern music playing, or climbing up a mountain, desert storms, go check out Sirenscape. They also do like your sci-fi, cyberpunky, all that sort of stuff. Go check them out. They're super, super cool. Brilliant at what they do. And if you play online like we do, your players can get a web player app, download it, whatever you play as the GM, you invite them to your game, you play it, goes through their web app, and they can turn it up and down as they see fit. On that, it's on the same mixer as the players, so if it's too loud for you, please let me know in chat and I'll try and tone it down, etc, etc. The maps we use, not this one, the map you see in the bottom corner here, I created with Incarnate. Go check out Incarnate. Fuck, I love them. They're so good for the assets they provide you to make your own maps. If you want ready-made maps, for this campaign we're using someone called 2 Minute Tabletop. Not Loki Bottom Mats, but thanks for that, Ray, who's just on a mission right now.
I've got
However,
this in front of me, I'm just having fun.
I get to Loki. So for this particular campaign, we use 2 Minute Tabletop. Go check out 2 Minute Tabletop online. They're all hand-drawn, and they just fit the aesthetic that I generally go for, like with my chibi tokens and such like this. They're gritty, they're wonderful, I love them, they're bright. Go check out 2 Minute Tabletop. If you have heard of Loki Battle Mats, they generally sponsor our channel because they are amazing and absolutely brilliant in what they do. They win awards, all their Kickstarters get immediately funded when they get announced. They've just done a sci-fi one. Absolutely beautiful for just flipping out a massive A3 book of maps on your table, and boom, you've got your taverns, your towns, your sewers, your arcane circles, your tundras, your forests, all that stuff. So go check out Loki Battle Maps. Another sponsor of the show, Roughworks Creative. If you go check out Roughworks on Facebook, the man is an absolute nightmare for making himself well known. But I tell you now, if you go check him out on Facebook, look at the photos of stuff he's done, you will be amazed by what he's done with his bare hands, blood and sweat. Who else we got on there? Sawdust and Swear Words. This is a lot of people. We need to rein this in. Sawdust and Swear Words. Go check out Sawdust and Swear Words on Facebook. Another woodcrafter. Long-term friend of mine. Dave and Grace are absolutely beautiful people. Go check out their talents. As soon as Dave started doing the old woodworking, people just dived all over it because it's just really, really good. So, last one, and then I'm moving on to the actual stuff. At the end, two things. We're off to the Games Expo on the 3rd to the 5th, or the 5th to the 6th of June, the first weekend in June. Games Expo UK at the NEC Birmingham. Check us out there. We'll be doing a panel on world building and just talking Colossus for an entire weekend. It's going to be amazing. At the beginning of August, even on the 6th and 7th, GSCon is a con that runs in Manchester. If you go check out the link that's in the chat, you can get 10% off your ticket if you put the code EMRIS10. Emrys is a gamer friend of ours who plays in our Tuesday games. She's sponsoring the show, so you get 10% off. They also politely asked me to run a one shot for D&D for them. So I'll be Dungeon Master. 8 to 10 people will be signing up for this. So if you want to be part of that party for 4 hours, where we've got our own seminar room so people can come in and watch, or if they've got young ones that want to come along and ask about how to get involved in it and stuff like that, feel free to come along and ask. So yeah, go check them out, JSCon. Right, last thing. Do you feel sorry for the adventurers? Question mark. Donate 200 bits / cheers to give the party a reroll monkey face. They can't be used on the DM or death saving throws. They can only hold 5 at a time and they don't roll over to the following week. What have you just put there?
I'm just doing the socials now, don't worry.
Reads the spamming stuff, right?
I'm on it now. I'm almost done.
Cool. So yeah, if you fancy throwing rerolls at them, they get a reroll. If you fancy throwing rerolls, if you fancy throwing bits at them, they get a reroll. Right. So let's do a recap. Let me put some music on and we'll do a recap. Din, 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 din. I'm using Sunscape now as I type in the search bar what I wish. And it brings me nothing of what I wish. Here we go. Oh, go back. Right, so I'll use the same music I used last time for consistency purposes when it gets to it. Right, so you will have incoming music, or at least an ambience of. Right. That was very fun, but I want Mel back. Last week, your first session in this campaign, you are allegedly in Atoria. In all your lead-ups to this meeting of your party, you all came via different means. You have ended up in what appears to be an icy-capped mountain range, or at least a singular mountain at the moment. You didn't leave the caved-in room that was originally high up because of the blizzard raging outside, so you made your way deeper into the mountain. As you did so, you found a couple of passages and such that you investigated. These led to a chain that, when pulled, flushed the room and sent, or at least tried to send you all down a downward spiral down one of the corridors, which was basically a water chute to places unknown. You climbed your way up on the far left-hand tunnel using the large steps that were within the corridor that went straight up, and you came out into a, as best attempted as someone could make, to dome out this cave. There was a small contraption, a small set of scales that, when interacted with, opened the top chili chicken lips. It's gravy time. Thank you for the follow. As you popped open the small scales and it opened up the dome ceiling, it showed you a almost pocket dimension, or a view of somewhere. It was a nebula that you saw beyond. Stars, pinks, blues, oranges, all across this starlit scene. The purple garnet stones that had been given to you or forced upon you during your teleportations to this place, you all took off and threw to the stars, except for one, the bard known as Velk. Decided, fuck it, we'll keep it. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Leaving that room, you followed the small tunnel. Most of you had to crawl, except the gnome Velk. And you made your way towards what you could hear rushing water. Behind you, as the door closed on that tunnel, Tabitha, the warrior elf that had been with you for a short time and been with Etheria and Bjorn for longer, remained in that room. Remy, the alchemical lunatic friend of Althea and Velk, is still with you. And you come out onto a ridge. So if you could all go to roll 20, please. You should already be on it.
I will open roll 20.
I even reminded you and everything while you were going mod crazy.
I opened Stereoscape and then forgot to open roll 20. Was wholly prepared for this session. There we are. Look at this. We're adorable.
2 seconds.
They are pretty damn cute.
So cute.
They're amazing. I love them. Right.
Look at
Oh, I
look
owe
at-
you money. I totally forgot.
I'm
Sorry.
a little Spartan.
Yeah, you are actually do have a little Spartan. That's cool. I forgot to put Remy in, so I'm gonna get some poor peasant to be Remy.
Just assume that he's next to me,
Just
Just a
assume that he's
random
next to you.
peasant.
It's alright. I'm gonna get some.
and I'm about one Snyder arc away from hitting him at all times.
Right, there we go. You've got a. Oh shit, that's big.
No,
Be
it's not
patient
big.
with me. This is the first time I've ever used Roll20.
That's
I
fine.
don't think we're gonna have to
It's
do
fine.
much. I think
It's fine.
No, we're gonna die. It's fine.
So,
I've not got control.
oh, thank you for the bits, Cardiff Rock.
Thank
Right.
you.
Battle
Hey,
card.
nice.
So you should now be able to see Roll20 on the stream.
You battle.
And if we go to you lot, right, let's, boom. So as you come out onto the cliff face, as you can see, the water is beneath you, and then over the other side here, where can you see that, Amelia?
Yes.
Right. Across there, it's about 15 to 20 foot, depending on where you cross at this river. The river is flowing from top right to from north to south, ish, where you're standing. The drop down to the river is about 15 feet. You can see from where you are that it's deep enough that if you did jump into it, you won't just cave your face in. It is definitely a fast-flowing, deep river. From the north, if you look and see where it's coming from, it's pitch black as far as the eye can see. So even if you've got dark vision, once it's beyond your 60 feet, the river's still up there. And it is rushing fast enough that if you did try to swim northward, it'd be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for some of you. Going south, you could just jump in and let it take you wherever it's going, and then, you know, wing it and react where you so wish. Or you can make your way across to the other side in whatever manner you see fit. So, 3, 2, 1, you're in.
Okay. You said it's only wrong accent. You said it's only 15 feet down to the water.
Yes.
Okay. And there's no land underneath it. It's just the water. There's nowhere we could climb down to and then look across.
You could climb down to maybe a couple of rocky bits that you reckon you might have to like cling to the wall, but you don't know if they're stable, but you can see rocks that are kind of sticking out.
There's no like beach. Like there's no. Like
No, there's not a beach. Not this side.
No.
Not this side.
How far across is the river?
About 15, 17 feet, 20 at its widest.
does
How
the
did-
water? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, how difficult would it be to climb out on the other side?
You don't
Is
know.
it
till you
another
get there.
15-foot drop, or?
No, it's far less. Maybe some areas there'll be like rocks that act as steps that you could kind of climb up. But if you was at the from the water to the highest point, probably only about 3 feet. If you followed that ridge across the other side, you reckon it only gets to about 3 feet before.
We have a bit of tunnel behind us if we want to make a run.
The tunnel behind you will lead back to the door that closed on you.
Is there a space that we can get a run up there? We'd have to stand and jump if we decided to jump.
Velk can. You lot will struggle because you crawled through.
Have to crawl.
Crawl, yeah.
Yeah.
Does the water look like fast flowing, or is it?
It's fast.
calm?
It's fast.
It's fast flowing.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If you try to swim northward, you'd struggle. You'd have to de-kit, and even then, you're probably the most looking around. You're probably the most athletic, or it appears so. Even you would look at it and go, maybe I'll go for a run this morning.
Any
Maybe
preference?
We could throw the bird.
We could. I mean, I could attach maybe if anyone's got some rope to a javelin, and then we could at least have something to hold on to as we tried to like pull ourselves across. Maybe.
I've got rep.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
Is there anything else around on our side of the river, like any sort of unusual rocks, or is Samson there? And
Samson is
throw us over.
Go on, mate.
Why are you saying I'm nearly 5 feet?
Because you're nearly 5 feet.
What am I,
Like an hour ago conversation.
Yeah. Why, AD?
He's got a memory.
You're alright, dude. You're tired. You shouldn't stay up late drinking with me, mate, should you?
Yeah, is there any unusual, like,
Give me a perception check. Unusual as in looks out of place, or
Yeah, like other than just rocks. Is there anything
Yeah,
other than
okay.
just rocks?
Give
Is
me
there a
rocks?
boat?
Is there,
Is there
like,
a
does it look like there's something like can we interact with the rocks? That sort of
give
stuff.
me a
A
perception check.
well-placed canoe is what we're looking for.
You notice the rope bridge.
That's 18.
18. Looking about you, where if you look northward where Althea is, it thins out a bit, and you'd have to be really flat against the wall. But it does seem to wander a bit further that way, and the same south. But the path south's a bit wider. How far and how long it stays while you're unsure. As for anything that looks like you'd interact, a button or a lever or a hidden rock that would release something, there doesn't seem to be anything out the ordinary. In fact, with your perception check, you notice that the tunnel you've just left, you notice it more because you've got to walk through it and have a look around just as you come around. You kind of turn around and see if there's anything on the underside or anything. The beginnings of that tunnel, there's scratch marks on the floor, like deep grooves. You follow where the deep grooves are, and they kind of go over the edge, as if there was something like a rope that was in that particular position and was for a very long time and kind of wore like this channel in the rock that went down to the water. Give me an intelligence check.
So
If you climbed out of the water,
there's a rope.
up a rope,
Climb
there
out of the
isn't a
water.
rope,
Yeah,
but you imagine there once was,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and that was there a long time.
It'd be like over the edge and like
Yeah,
they basically
as
pull
if-
themselves out of the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's no longer a rope.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you still want me to make it like is it inch relevant or is it?
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. As I'm looking at it, I'm like, the unlikely party. Look and see grooves at the edge of the riverside, as if a rope had once been there.
I'm not entirely sure that helps us currently. Unless we can attach something
They
back
all-
on.
They all ponder in unison. Do we have rope upon our persons?
Well,
I-
yes,
Yes, I have rope.
we should do.
Can I fly to the other side, please?
Do you have
Oh.
wings?
I do have wings.
Then yes, you can.
Fantastic. I'd like to
Do you wanna
fly
take
the
one
other
side of this
It's off
rope?
Hannah.
You should be able to move your token.
Amazing. Thank
As you try to go, I'm going to go, but the rope,
Take one.
take some rope,
Take one side of the rope.
Rhea.
I can't move my person.
I can't move my person either.
Why? Because it's a different map.
Oopsie. There we go. I'm good. Can I now assess to see if there's rocks that I can tie shit to, please?
You can.
That would actually
Give
be
me
sturdy.
an investigation check.
Okie day.
Another reroll. Thank you, Uli.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
take that reroll. Thank you very much.
And look at us going, oh, they need it.
I'm much better. So that is an 18, please.
Cool. So on your 18, you notice that these small circulars are.
Mhm.
Is it pull your tights down?
Stalagmites.
Stalagmites. Tights is down in it. Stalactites is down. Stalagmites is up.
Yes.
So these stalagmites reach upwards. You could tie a
Okay.
rope around them quite easily.
Are they sturdy though?
Yes. On your investigation, you think they'd be the best option to tie the rope to.
Fantastic. I'd like to tie one end of my 50-foot hempen rope, please, to
Cool.
said stalagmite.
You successfully do this. You're a druid. You've grown up in the forest. Like tying a knot's easy.
Yeah,
Let-
cool.
leave
And
it
then
there, kids.
I fly back across
And you take the rope. You fly
with
back
the
across.
rope in my hand.
There is nothing on their side to tie it to, because you're on a kind of flattish surface that comes out of that tunnel.
That's a them problem. They can figure that out.
I just hold out my hand like I can try and hold it while you
Why
fly
don't-
across, but that doesn't help me.
Althea, why don't you stick one of your javelins into the ground and tie the rope to it?
I mean,
You'd have to get that javelin deep into the mountain.
She's
Althea
strong.
ponders the weight.
so I will hold it while you guys like climb across and use it together. If you promise to all pull it when I'm the last one holding on to the end of the rope, so I get to the other side.
I'm
I
gonna
will-
say no because I'm incredibly weak.
I
Deal,
will, give
I
it,
go.
I will give it a go.
I will like lever myself into the ground and hold this rope tight and gesture for them to all.
I'm gonna swing down onto the rope and
So,
try and get myself
Althea,
across.
you're going to brace yourself, yeah? And you're going to hold the rope to keep it taut for them lot to like.
Yeah.
I'll
Hand over
assist Althea,
How?
How will you
Holding
get
on to-
across afterwards?
holding on to her as well.
You're holding on to Althea as well. Oh, are you
Yes.
helping Bjorn?
Helping Althea keep out of it at this point.
So Althea's hand over hand.
No, Bjorn is hand over hand.
Althea's
Oh,
bracing
Althea's
her this side.
all right. Sorry, my bad. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Help
Yeah.
I'm
him
literally
brace
like
it.
full
Alright,
weight, like
so-
squatting back.
As Bjorn is walking towards that, like, the Viconian looks at Althea, looks at the lack of things for her to hold on to, looks at the rope, looks at the edge of the waterside, and ponders. Could one really hold such weight for so long?
Yes.
Or would it be better to
Worse.
simply swim across and use the rope to pull themselves out the other side?
Old Spice.
Is the other side lower than the side we're on?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna hook my axe
Not
over
that
the.
much lower.
I'm gonna hook my axe over the rope and just
Slower,
swing
like-
down.
Right. So as you go down, Althea grabs a rope. Etheria joins, and they both kind of brace. There's a bit of stones kind of tumble off the side as Althea gets a foot in. Etheria's claws grip, and the rope sags ever so slightly and stops your momentum of zip lining to the other side. The rest of it, you'll have to do a bit of a athletics check to hand over hand to get across.
Like an awkward bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, shuffle down a slide.
So just give me an athletics check.
Athletics is gonna be
The kind of thing you don't want to do on a zip line
Alright.
wheels.
Great one. So 15.
15. Yeah, you're across.
Pew.
I will go into the water and just use the rope with my hands rather than trying to just climb along the rope.
So you're going to drop down into the water.
Still-
So they hold the rope and you just use it to pull yourself through the river.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as Althea and Etheria, wow, these are close names.
Got Rhea, Althea, and Etheria.
Wow. As
They're fairly Greek though.
Tweedledee and Spiddledum lower the rope in, and it just sits in the water. They hold it tight enough that it is their control that's keeping it on the surface of the water, and you start pulling yourself across. Give me an athletics check with advantage, seeing as you've got every.
Yeah, really glad for the advantage. Without it, it was 4. With it, it's 19.
Cool. The rope will pull because it's now hitting the water, and you now have weight on it, so it is pulling you away south down the river. But you can feel yourself. Your grip is comfortable on it. It's not like a panic grip. Your knuckles aren't going white with fear or anything. You're just hand over hand, like when you've done chores around the temple with the children and stuff, and shown them how to like grow plants and look after the earth type stuff. You've got that physicality about you. Dean Felk is the yeah, definitely. You're not the only one, mate. So yeah, and you pull yourself across with the help of Bjorn and Rhea at the other side. You easily get out. Why?
I'm just gonna look at Velk and gesture like.
I look over at Rhea and I'm like, the Wicked Witch looks across the water and thinks, could I be strong enough to carry any of them?
Straight away, no. I am weak. I
Oh.
already stated said thing. I am incredibly weak. If I
Well,
try
the
and lift
little-
anything, I will cry.
The little funny man is really small though. You can give it a go.
That was
Just let go if it's too much.
I'm just
absolutely
smiling.
brilliant.
The little funny man can sort himself out. So I'm like gritting my teeth,
I
holding this rope. Like...
am weak. I'm not sugarcoating this. I'm weak. I know my
So,
limits.
Are you going,
Bjorn,
little dude?
Bjorn, Faze, and Rhea. Are you on that side or other side? Which side are you on?
I am still this side here.
Cool. You three, give me a perception check.
Fuck. No, thank you.
That's
It's
not
a
how that
little
works.
Who've got
No, I
left?
don't think I will.
I don't want to roll dice.
No.
See you later, Dean, mate.
I'm just gonna die.
TikTok, Dean. TikTok.
TikTok Dean.
Does anyone want to use that reroll, or can I have it?
If
You can have the other one if you like.
Thank you.
So
And I'm
this is
changing
how a
dice.
party uses rerolls.
You
Oh
might
my
just-
god! Oh, I went from a nat 1 to a nat 20.
Cool.
We forgot
So that
last
is a
week.
25, please.
25. Beyond.
19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Phase.
To do what? Sorry.
Perception.
Right.
Roll a
That's
dice.
important.
Add some numbers to it.
Fez hasn't seen anything.
14.
14. All three of you hear really loudly from multiple directions. It might be echoing, it might be one thing, it might be multiple, but there's a lot of hissing going on.
Can I yell
Gonna
across the
cast-
other side?
Thanks for the phone.
If you could move quite quickly, I think there's something slithery.
I'm going to cast armor of Agassiz.
Cool.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. As
Remy, alchemy dude, are you going?
You three see. Yeah, I'll go now.
cool.
I'll roll
Big old
my...
snake.
I will fall in the water. So, we'll get to that bit. I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh, dude. Let's go this next way. There you go.
Right, let me know when you've
Nice.
rolled. So, Velk, what did you get?
Natural 20, so 22.
Boom, on initiative. Well spent. Fizz.
Wasted.
A very solid 3.
Ooh.
I expect to go quite fast.
Etheria.
3.
Okay. Beyond.
18.
18. Show off.
Althea.
13.
Right, so. Woo! Velk, you get to go first.
Do you not want my initiative?
No.
No, you're dead.
What's the point?
Why? Ah, you're
And,
there.
and
There you go.
Ra-
What's your initiative,
Remy's-
Raya? I've got
Oh,
Ray's.
Remy. Yeah, okay.
What did you get, Raya?
5. Well, actually, it was a 2, but 5.
So 5.
And before the snake. So.
I rolled a 2. So.
So. Yeah, Velk. I've
Remy's
got
just fallen. No, like I'm asking, like, has Remy just fallen?
Yeah, so what happens is Remy gets to here, falls in the water, you lot roll initiative. Velk, you go.
As Remy is falling, I'm like, as the would-be hero's companion falls from the rope, he doesn't panic. He seems to remember all of those swimming lessons that he had when he was a young boy. And as he falls, he will get bardic inspiration.
Oh, cool, okay. So he's got bardic inspiration. What's Velk's favourite colour? You've got a choice. Red, blue, green, orange, purple, pink, yellow.
Pink.
I didn't ask you.
What's folks' favourite colour?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go
Probably
with.
some disgusting shade of green.
As long as, well, that's green on the screen, so...
I'm gonna go with red.
Alright, cool. So your bardic inspiration is a red dot. That is the size of Remy. So, that's your bonus action for bardic inspiration?
That is my action.
Action, cool.
Oh no, it is. Sorry, as a bonus
Bonus
action.
action.
there you
First time playing a bard.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Nice. And then as my action, I will probably start tying myself to the end of the rope, like the free end that's not being held by anybody.
So I'll say Althea was
start
here
to-
and Etheria's here, so you'll have to move up to tie yourself.
Yeah. Like I'll move and just tie myself to the end, like the free end of the rope, because when I climb across, just in case I fall.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Right, so you've moved up, you've grabbed the rope, you easily knot it securely enough that you think if you did fall, you'd be being dragged, but you'd be at a 50-foot end of a rope quite safely. Apart from the fact that you've been waterboarded. Right, so that's Velk's turn. Bjorn.
Can I see
You can see
the snake creature?
this snake creature.
What am I looking at? It looks like it's got 2 heads.
That's because it's got 2 heads.
Okay.
So what you see is it's about, if it was to uncoil itself, you reckon it's about 10 feet in length. It doesn't have a tail. Each end has a large head. There is a strange ichor dripping quite freely from the fangs of both sets of teeth of the snake. And it is this passageway leads up and away to wherever, you don't know.
How far away are they?
Measure it. Have you never used Roll20?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
33 feet. In
Yeah,
fact, I'll tell you
circle
what.
with a ruler in
I'll
it,
tell
click
you
it,
what,
and
I'll
drag.
tell you what. Let's
Can
make
you
this
snap the grid off?
Yeah. Let's make
Thank
this
you.
easier. Right, so we come here. I go here. There you go. Snap, snap, snap.
Okay.
There we go. See, that should be a bit easier for you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
We'll do a 101 another time. But yeah, just use the
Okay.
grid, mate. And anything you need doing, I'll do it for you if needs be.
Okay. Cool. I am going to rush forward then to strike at the snake.
Whose is that 30-foot arrow?
Tony's, it looks like.
I
From the
did
colour.
measure, but I took it off.
Right,
But-
still
no.
not.
It's
I'll
stuck
look elsewhere.
there.
Right, cool. So, you run up to it, you get in there, and it is 10 feet of snake whipping around. Venom just dripping from its fangs. What do you do?
Use the green flame blade cantrip and strike at it with my axe.
Boom, roll to hit.
Ooh. That is going to be a 17.
Say again?
17.
17. 17 hits, do your damage.
Okay.
As you slash across, and both heads whip out of the way and kind of get in each other's way.
Green flame blade, give me a second. Bum, 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 bum.
I don't know how loud this music is, but might be deafening chat. TikTok sent me. Yes!
Okay.
We're on TikTok now.
I
There are no-
believe Dean gave us a shout out.
Now that I'm closer, there are no other creatures that I can see near it or anything like that.
Not that you saw rushing in your moment of battle.
Okay, cool.
Stop looking at the stream, get on with the game.
I wasn't looking at the stream.
Get on with it, smash something.
Looking at my character
Smash something, die! Sorry, what damage did you do?
That is going to be 14.
14? Is that with a green flame of death?
No, that is with a D10 plus 4.
Cool. What does the green flame do?
Normal effects, but if there is a secondary creature that I didn't see in the shadows behind it, I could have hit that with 4 points of damage.
Ah, I see. Okay, that's pretty badass. I don't like that arrow still on there. I'm just gonna refresh.
I refreshed and it went away.
Right, cool. I've just refreshed. Sorry, chat. I'm just refreshing my screen. Oh, take your time. Back. Yeah, it's gone away. Right, cool.
And that is the end of my turn.
Cool. Let me zoom in. Be more dramatic. Ding ding ding. And your turn. Let's get you over here, so that's not in my way. After your turn, Bjorn. Boom. FaZe and Rhea, you see to your left down here, where I'm pinging now, another 10 to 12 foot snake. The scales of it are more a dull green as opposed to the bright ones in front of Bjorn. But this particular one doesn't have the venom dripping from its mouth, but it is thicker, as if its muscles sort of ripple from the head to the head. The fangs are large and not as prominent as the venomous one facing Bjorn, but they're thick and tusk-like with sharpened points. It looks like it could crush you if it got right round you. Yeah. It will, as I go back to my objects and tokens, snap there. Up to FaZe and attack FaZe. Ray, you see a 12-foot constrictor snake with 2 heads attack
Come on then.
the wonderful phase. 12.
It doesn't hit.
It whips out and tries to grapple you, but you just stand there and kind of sway once, just like water splashing off you as the snake comes flying past, and it misses. You'll love this level 2. Althea.
So I'm assuming, well, I've seen Velk start tying the end to himself.
You are fully aware that he has secured the end of the rope, so there's there's a slack in the water. What you're holding,
Yeah, there's
about
like
another
5
20
foot behind me.
Yeah, probably a
so
bit
he's,
more, but yeah.
Yeah, so he's tied that to himself. So I would
Yep.
like to grab Etheria
Okay.
and put them on my back.
You are at half movement while carrying somebody.
I'm going to try and drag myself through the water with the rope that I'm currently holding and hope that little man stays tied on at the back
don't need to
and gets
take me.
dragged behind us.
Etheria shouts, "You don't need to take me," as you go to gesture for her to jump onto your back.
I'm good.
Feel very uncomfortable about leaving you, but she will nod and then just start to pull herself through the rope and try and grab Remy on the way.
You're gonna leap into the water,
Holding the rope.
holding the rope.
Yeah.
It will immediately rush you to here. So you can either swim while holding the rope, or let go of the rope and swim and grab Remy, or just stay where you are in the middle here somewhere, next to Remy, and grab Remy. You can't do three. You can't do all 3.
So I can't. Can I pull myself?
So you've got one hand on the rope.
Yeah, the rope's swung.
You've got one hand on the rope. The rope will swing.
Yeah.
So you either keep hold of it and get brought down here.
Yeah.
You've got one hand to swim and grab Remy with. Not an easy task. Unless you let go of the rope.
But I'm going to be at disadvantage because I'm in armor by trying to
You'll
swim.
be at a lot of things, so...
Yeah. I am going to pull myself to the side. I'm going to pull up the rope and not go for Remy.
So give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Yeah. $11.
11. You manage to get yourself to the side, but you're not quite out. Because as the water's bringing you down here, you pull and pull against the rope, kicking with your legs. Your armour is heavy enough to withstand a sword blow, obviously, but swimming through and pulling yourself up a 2-foot thing. But you'd easily, where that stonework is now, be able to just walk out of it on your next turn. But that will have taken you... You've got a bonus action, I'd say, to get to there.
Yeah, so I've used my action, my bonus action to get to there.
No, you've used your action and movement to get to here.
Okay, then I don't have any bonus actions, so I'm going to...
Okay. Fighters.
Fighters, level 1.
Fighters. Right, Remy is going to just attempt to straight up swim because there's no rope to hold onto because you took it away from him.
Yeah.
So, but he's inspired, yeah? D6, young Velk.
6 indeed.
I'm not even going to wait for the roll, I'm going to use the inspiration straight away.
Come on, little alchemy dude.
Alright, I'll take that. Total 20.
Nice.
And he swims and pulls himself out of the shallower side here, just where the water hits that rock. It's only about half a foot is that little ridge here of water. And he manages to pull himself out. He kind of looks around, he's piss wet through, he's just looking around. He sees the giant snake. Rhea and Faze, if you do happen to look into the poor skinny alchemist's eyes, there is fear. However, he fumbles around on the bandolier of potions that are tied around him, and he just finds one that's got a strange blue sheen to it, like someone's put a pipette of blue ink into this clear water. He pops the cork and just throws it at the snake. And it sails miles and miles and lands over here somewhere. And
Now I'd like to glance at him and just go. That's it. That's all I want.
the blue liquid immediately reacts to the air as the glass breaks, and this entire 5-foot square here gets covered in a purple sludge. So that just happened to be the colour that was on at the time. And it looks like there is a thick, blobby mass there that if someone tried to walk through it, it'd be very, very difficult. So that's Remy's turn. Rhea, your turn. There's a 12-foot constrictor, two-headed snake. And
I would
Bjorn's
like to shillelagh, please.
Shillelagh, so is that bonus action cast Shillelagh?
I cast shillelagh, bonus action, and action. I want to swing, movement. I'm gonna flank to the other side.
Do you want to keep going?
Huh?
Do you want to move another square?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm literally
There we
directly
go.
opposite.
There we go. I'm so proud of you.
Stop! No praise. But anyway, that will be a 19 to hit, please.
Cool. Do you want to roll your advantage, or did you already do it? Just in case you crit.
That was a 2, so no.
Okay, cool. So you, as you step across, your wings flickering and giving you that almost light touch jump as you move those 15 feet behind the snake. You run your hand across your staff. The purple and greens radiate from your fingertips, shillelagh in your staff, and you whack it on the head, or at least one of them. So you successfully hit. How much damage do you do?
4 points of bludgeoning damage, please.
4.
Yes, please.
Whack.
Yeah, I rolled in that one, and then that was +3.
Alright, that's
That's
your
better
turn.
than no damage.
As it gets on, you see a red and orange scaled serpent up here. Again, another 10-12 feet easy, double-headed. There is a spitting of fire. Every time its tongue forks out, you get those little sparks and it ignites, and there is little pockets of flame that just pop out from either side of the mouth. And it will go flying up to Bjorn, and it'll just lash out, flame pouring out of its mouth in liquid form. Oh, maybe not. That is a 16, Bjorn. 1-6.
A 16 does hit, yeah.
16 does hit.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be...
I am, however, covered in magical frost.
Cool.
Magical frost.
So you take 3 points of piercing damage as the teeth sink into you, and then the burning sensation from the flame does a point of fire damage to you. And what does your armor of Agatha do?
As the snake hits me, it takes 5 points of cold damage.
5 points of cold.
I love armor bag.
And I have this armor for an hour.
Cool. Yeah, but does it not run out?
Nope.
So it constantly
It
does...
lasts for an hour.
Yep. It doesn't excess on damage or anything like that. That's the reason why I used to use mine so much. I was like,
No
constantly.
concentration. Doesn't expire when you get hit. It just lasts for an hour.
Cool. So, as the cold reacts from your armor, you can tell immediately that the fire snake does not like cold being thrust upon its face.
Ooh.
It is now the poisonous snake's turn. Venom dripping from its fangs. It spikes out at you, Bjorn, and tries to bite you. That might have missed. Well, let's have a look. 15.
15 does hit.
Okay. So, you take a single point of piercing damage. And can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
He's good at them.
Normally he is.
Come on, Bjorn, it's what you're best at.
You don't look confident, Rich.
14.
14.
Said that so gingerly. 14.
Cool. As the poison rushes through your veins, you don't feel it damage your internals. but there is a burning sensation from it. But you are not poisoned.
You got a UTI from the snake.
Fizz, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to find roll 20 again. There it is.
So you are currently in combat with a large two-headed constrictor snake with Rhea on the other side, wielding her magic staff.
Yes. So, as much as I can see, Bjorn's in a bit of a pickle. I'm going to hit this one with the double-headed one in front of me with my warhammer to begin with, or I'm going to try to. 18, 19, 21, 22 to hit.
Woo!
It better hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. If you'd said no, I was going to cry.
Don't worry, so would have I.
Level 1 you miss.
Yeah.
I took my shield off, didn't I? So it's the double hand damage, not. Yeah.
As long as you make sure your AC is less, then yes.
Yes, it is. So that is 7 damage.
So you two-handed slam the hammer down into it, yeah?
Yeah.
You crash the warhammer down on one of the heads. It goes flat against the stone. If it was a canine, it would probably yelp quite a lot. Instead of you get a which is from now forever known as our snake makes a noise. The other head rears up on reaction, almost like you've done one of those carnival hammer competitions where the bell goes flat and the head comes upright, ready to lash out and wrap around you.
Yeah, I'm going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to use the War Priest action to turn one into a bonus action as a second attack.
Ooh.
So, that is a 17 to hit.
17 hits. As you bring your warhammer slamming down on it again.
Yeah, it's better. That's 9 damage on the second hit.
Bam! You slam as this second head comes up. You crack it with your second hit. For a Rhea, what you see is behind Faze an empty red hood and a cloak hanging down, blood dripping from it behind her as the second blow lands and then that vision disappears. You staying where you are? It's just because you got movement. That's the only reason I'm asking. It's not a trick question.
No, it's fine. No, I'm going to risk taking a hit from it, and I'm going to walk to behind the fire. Oh, here. There.
Okay. Do you want to walk there to give Bjorn advantage?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Cool. I guess that's where you're going. No worries. Right, so Etheria, it is your turn. Now, go on.
I am going to go for a Ray of Frost on Fireboy.
So, cast your Ray of Frost.
Yes. I can reach cat at 60 feet range.
Yeah.
I don't want to put another arrow on the screen and mess things up again.
You're 50 feet away.
Nice. That would be 18 to hit.
18 hits.
On duck die. 5 cold damage.
So 10. This Ray of Frost shoots across. You see the air around this bolt of cold energy as it slams into the fire snake. Bjorn and Fizz, you just see it flash freeze and then kind of slump down and writhe again, ready to fight. Don't look in an overly good way.
I don't think I have any bonus actions or anything. I'll just double check. No, that's me.
Are you moving?
No, I'll stay where I am.
Cool. Valk, your turn.
Sniper Samurai.
That's inspiration has gone.
I'm at the edge, aren't I? I'm at the edge.
You're on the edge. You're a donkey on the edge.
I like tentatively look over it, and then look over to where all the action's happening. I'm like, to get the detail, I simply must be in the thick of it. And I like hesitate for a second, and then just dive in to try and dive across.
Right, cool. So you're just gonna. Swan dive in, like full on graceful dive, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. So Belle jumps into the water. Because you're at the end of the rope, give me a just give me an athletics check. So I'm assuming you're not letting the rope go to its full extension. You're going to try and... Or are you going to let it go through its full 50 foot?
13 minus 1, 12.
12? So as you leap into the water...
I basically dive in, but like the rope's almost like the safety thing for
just in case. So
yeah.
you dive in, you're holding the rope as far in as you can, so it gives you enough distance to get into what you presume to be safe. You splash into the water and immediately start pulling yourself across. You do get across to Althea and go inside her. Wow, that was weird. You manage to pull yourself out of here.
Cool.
But that's all your movement and your action.
Cool. Happy days.
Are you bonusing anything?
I will. The one next to Rhea's still alive, right?
They're all still alive, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know if you'd like cross them off. I will. The wicked witch has that look in her eye as she looks at the snake before her. She's about to do something devilish, and I will bardic inspiration Rhea.
Bardic inspiration, Rhea. Okay.
I want character portraits with all of our Velk names on them.
Who is?
I don't think I've got a name yet.
Your time will come.
Yourself lucky that you've not made that much of an impression
The wicked
to
witch.
have one of those.
So, as you inspire Rhea, it is now Bjorn's turn.
I am going to concentrate on the one I hit already and strike at
The poisonous one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Again with green flame blade.
Cool. Does that mean you hit the fire one as well? Does it have to be behind it?
Give me.
Is it within 5 foot of you or the thing you hit?
Within 5 feet of you. So I can.
So you can hit the fire one. Cool.
Okay. So that is going to be a natural 20 to hit the poison snake.
Cool.
Which means
If you don't kill it, you will die of an heart attack.
What?
If you don't kill this with your damage, I'm going to make Bjorn die of an heart attack.
okay.
No pressure.
Hashtag 1 HP.
Yeah.
On the dice is a 7, so 14 plus 4, 21 points of damage to the poison snake and 4 points of fire damage as a green flame jumps.
4
to
points of
the-
fire damage.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So, as you obliterate this poisonous snake in front of you with a slash of your axe, the green flame reaches out from you and engulfs the fire snake behind, and it absorbs the fire. How many points?
4.
And you see that previous wounds heal.
Oh, what is it? Final Fantasy? Oh.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cool.
Fairy said, "Oh, Bjorn!"
The constrictor snake spins on Rhea after being hit in the face by a shillelagh. Oof. That was unexpected. That'll be a 22, and you take. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as it now grapples you. You are currently restrained, and you are being crushed as the thick snake's body just wraps around you and starts compressing, and your breathing begins to slow.
Sick, thanks.
That's its turn. Althea.
Just want to absolutely launch myself at it, like.
You don't get advantage from Rhea. because she's restrained.
Grappled, yeah, that's fine. But I don't have a shield anymore, so two-handed. That will be a 19 to hit.
Cool. You kill it.
Smack it.
It's got 1 hit point. You cannot. I mean, feel free to roll your damage, but you
14 damage.
cannot.
You
You're
kill
still
the wicked
inspired.
witch.
You are no longer restrained, Rhea.
No, but I.
How much movement have I got left?
You moved. Climbing up there would have taken you double, so it'd have taken you 10 feet to get there, so you've got 20 feet left.
5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm just gonna shout, "Hey, you two-headed fuck," and try and get its attention.
That's yeah. Okay. Give me an animal handling check.
Why have I got a +1 in this? That's a 4.
Cool.
Lions in the gladiator arena.
At some point, it looks at you. It might be coming for you. You don't know. So, Remy will run across to Rhea and go, here, drink this, and he will give you a healing potion, but he will give you it so you can drink it on his action, and he will
I
heal.
have to ask first before he shoves this into a mouth. I go, is this a healing potion, or is this something you think is a healing potion?
Yes.
Yes, it's a healing potion, or you think that it could be.
Correct. Decide now.
Night, Rhea.
Decide now. Yes or no?
Oh, fuck it.
We got a chaos
You are healed 5 points as he pours it into your mouth and you gulp down the liquid. It's sweet, has a cherry flavour to it, but you feel warm, and the wounds that you've taken so far seem to mend. The bruising doesn't feel as sore, and your wounds are healed. Insight check. On Remy.
He had no idea.
He's a fucking clue.
What did you get?
13.
13. He looks pleasantly surprised.
Oh, God.
Right, Rhea. Remember that thing I sent you last week? I can't. Yeah, cool. So, as it comes round to your turn in this combat, 2 snakes already slain by those that you've recently started travelling with. 1 snake left, fire wreathed in its mouth. You look about the battle and you think of the minor skills that you inherited from your kith in the shadows of the forest. A silver light appears in your mind's eye. A circle of white gold spreads, getting larger and larger, until you are within this ring of this white gold. There are stars that appear around this sphere. You recognise it as the moon eventually, but for a split second there was something more about it. The hissing of the creatures all around you seems to intensify, as if there's more and more and more. You can feel them whipping out at you. You can hear the hissing rushing up in your mind as you start to weave and shape and start to mimic the movement of these enormous snakes, until the next thing you know, you are reared up, a long forked tongue spitting out, hissing at the creature across the way from you, 10 feet away, as you turn into what you know to be an Akaya, which is a horned nose viper.
I love those things.
You now have the stats I sent you.
Fucking do one, mate. In a
And it is your turn.
very pleasant way, and it's after 9 o'clock, so it's fine. Sweet.
That will have
Right.
cost you your bonus action.
Bonus action, bonus action. I'm a snake now.
Alright.
Who cares?
Anna never gets bonus actions again. She clearly doesn't appreciate them.
At this point, no, I don't. I get to turn into a goddamn snake. Sick. I'm gonna slither forward and go, hiss, bitch, and bite them, please.
I mean, yeah, cool.
Thanks.
Do you still talk common?
Apparently.
Definitely not.
Did you actually just say hiss,
I
hiss,
say-
bitch?
I mean, the snake hears it, but you lot don't.
I say it in parcel tongue.
Anna, if you wanted to, slip round to the opposite of me, that might help you somewhat. If you
No,
have the
it
movement.
definitely wouldn't.
Okay.
But it does seem like a better position to be in because I'm closer to a wall, so I can then move the snake out. Yeah.
So what have you rolled you to hit?
That will be a 20 dirty.
Cool. You hit it. Your snake whips out. What are the stats of the damage for the snake?
1d4 plus 4.
Cool.
Oh, shit, I don't have d4.
Roll a
That's
d8
fine, good.
and half it.
It doesn't work like that.
Kind of does. Maybe.
Means you can't get a
Roll
one.
roll a d12.
I
Divide by
did
3.
I did get one. That's fine. So that is 5 points of piercing damage. And can you please make me a Constitution saving throw?
20.
Please. 20. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
fine. Oh, no, you're not. Wait, hold on. No, you're not fine. This is new. I like this. Far too excited. So you take 8 points of poison damage. Not 8 points, sorry. 7 points of poison damage, please.
Half as much damage. Cool. How many?
Couldn't do math for a hot second. 7. So I rolled a 14, so you take 7, please.
Cool. As you bite into this thing and you feel venom pulsate through your fangs into its flesh, the heat that assails you dies slowly until it is cold, and the snake just flops, and you just spit it out onto the floor in front of these. You are no longer in initiative.
As Althea didn't
Rhea looks
see.
like a snake, right?
Rhea
Yeah.
is a 8 to 10 foot large horn-nosed viper.
The unlikely party watches as the Wicked Witch transforms into a snake before their very eyes. Some might say, I told you so.
Yeah, as Althea didn't see Rhea turn into a snake, she's just gonna hold her sword up at her, like.
As a large snake just appears
Yeah,
from behind you.
This isn't done yet.
The would-be hero points her sword at the snake. The only thing stopping her slicing her neck off is the fact that she took out one of her friends.
So, moving back to, yeah. Boom. You don't need roll 20 anymore. At least not for now.
Althea, I think that's Rhea, but now I don't know who's going to bring the rope back to me.
Who's still on the other side?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rhea, as a snake, can you swim?
I transform back into myself, please.
Okay.
Cool. As I then transform back into myself, and I'm like, I can fly over, and I just fly across with the rope.
Picture Althea being like,
The group gives her a shifty look as she flies back over, wondering, whose side is she really on?
I
I'm
think
definitely
ours.
not.
She did a lot for us. I was thinking ours, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll take the rope off Rhea. See, you're a bird and a snake.
I 100% unattach myself before she starts.
yeah. I was about to be like,
Velk is just in the air being carried.
There's 50 feet's worth. It's going, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It could almost double back.
don't you ruin our comedy.
Much funnier to picture Vel being lifted up by Rhea.
Like a baby, like.
So you tie the rope to Velk, yeah?
No, I unattach.
No, not Velk.
I'll try it.
To Etheria.
Yeah, I'm going to pull in all the slack that I can and then tie it to me.
Okay. And then how are you
so
getting across?
jump.
Cool. Into the water and swim across, yeah?
Yeah, with the maximum length that the rope had from the stalactites to me. So
Cool.
whatever that is.
Give me athletics check.
I would like to run over and pull from this side.
Cool. Do it with advantage.
Oh, good. It wasn't any better.
I tried to help.
I think I'm drowning. I'm going to go help.
I'll be like,
Skills.
as the Dragonborn hits the water, floods of memories flash through their mind. Memories in which they were a great swimmer, and they realise they have the potential to do this. And I will use my last bardic inspiration to inspire.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, that's a little better, but not massively. 12.
12.
Yep. Splash.
You managed to make your way with the help of everybody.
I picked
To the
them out
other
of the
side.
water like a puppy, like by the scruff of their neck.
So you were dragged out of the water. You are all on this side now. There are 3 tunnels ahead of you. North-ish, straight in front of you where Bjorn was, and then one to the bottom left, so like southwesterly.
What time of day is it?
Give me a nature check.
Oh,
With
this is
disadvantage because you are a not cleric of nature and deep in a mountain.
Not a cleric of nature. Oh, wow. That's a 1 total.
The time of day is awake.
So, which hole?
What does any of the do any of the holes feel like there is a breeze? Do any of the holes feel or look like they've been travelled down?
Etheria blushes.
As does the DM. So give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Goes deep pink, like me.
Even more so. You are all pink.
Investigation is a 19.
So the one to the north, there are crushed bits of white crystal, not diamond, like a crystalline stone, in a manner that if you were to walk through crunchy, sticky snow and then walked into your house, it'd like just appear on the living room and you'd be like, fucking kids, that sort of thing. But there's that sort of crushed crystal stone, as if somebody walked through a lot of it, crushed it, stuck to the boots, got to here, dropped it down. Doesn't appear to have been slithered in by the snakes. More foot. The one that you were fighting in, there is a very strong smell of mushrooms. And the one to the south is further away. You'd have to go looking for it. As in, it's a longer tunnel. There's nothing immediately on the floor. You'd have to travel it to find out more about it.
I'll wander off down that one while they're deciding what to do.
Cool. What are the rest of you doing? Bjorn's had a look around. He's checking the floor. He's found some crushed crystal to the north. Smell of mushrooms in the middle one. And
I have informed them.
That's why I'm informing him.
Sorry.
And he's wandered off to the south.
Beyond. Is there something down that one?
That is what I am attempting to find out.
I'll go with.
Cool. You see Etheria go with Bjorn to the southwesterly tunnel.
I'm gonna like hold Remy at an arm's length and like check them like you do when your kid falls over, like to make sure there's no like scrapes or bumps and stuff. Like, are you intact?
Remy is piss wet through. Shaking a little bit, maybe cold, maybe adrenaline crash, but he's definitely experiencing a moment.
Just gonna give him a hug and then drag him towards following Bjorn and Etheria. Just like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, Remy.
So as you keep walking, Remy is failing to like dry himself off. So you, Etheria, so Althea, Etheria, Bjorn, and Remy all go southwest.
The crushed crystal,
Yes.
does it look like it's been stepped on?
It looks like somebody walked through it. Say there was a lot of it on the floor, and somebody walked through it and crushed it all over, and it stuck to their boots, and then they walked somewhere else, and then it fell off. As if it's travelled on their boots, like they've walked through it. If you walk through mud and then walked, you'd leave muddy footprints. There's not enough of it to be a trail of footprints, but it looks like somebody walked here and they had this crushed crystal on their boot somehow or whatever, and it's just fallen off as they've been walking.
Okay. Someone has walked here previously, this one though. Is that not a good sign of life?
Well, the double enders don't walk, so maybe.
The double enders.
Well, this is going to be a long level 1 to 20 campaign, kids.
How can you tell that someone's walked that way?
The crystal's all been crushed and looks like it's fallen off boots.
Gonna sort of turn back and just have a look at what FaZe is looking at, and
Exactly as it was described to Bjorn and FaZe, that's how you see it.
Okay.
Can I assess the crystal, please, and see if I recognise it?
You can indeed.
I will,
That didn't count. It fell off.
while they're all doing that, I'll be.
17.
I didn't count it were low.
But no, it fell into my skirt, which is also black, so I didn't have to see it anyway. So I just
Ginge
read it.
UK, best name on Twitch. It's gravy time. So you got.
Nice.
Sorry, Velk. I'll get to you in a sec. So
That's
yeah,
all.
as you kind of look at the broken crystal, you pick chunks of it up, and it's like it's almost like it was hollow. If you held a full piece of this in your hand, it would be hollow. And this is the bits you've got, the broken bits of, the long light tubes. Imagine you'd broken one of them and you just held it in your hand. So it's hollow, but there is a crystal shell to it. Give me what did you get? 17?
Yeah. Done an Arcana.
Yeah.
16.
16? When you're learning your druidic craft and you're not quite able to master those, even just cantrips and low level magics, this can be used to make sure that you succeed. It's like imagine it to be training wheels for the druids back in the clan.
I thought you were about to say it was like drugs.
It's like drugs, yeah. Level 1.5 drugs.
Never know.
Sherbet.
Like killy or something.
It could be used to replace very simple components in the
okay.
magics.
Does it look like it's been dropped or like?
It looks violently broken in the sense that if it was laid on the floor, someone's walked across it. So it hasn't been dropped and just snapped in half. Someone has crushed this.
And sorry, just to confirm, there is a trail of it leading off.
Trailish. It's kind of sporadic, but leading northward would be where that person or thing or whatever it was that brought the crystal here came from.
Okay.
From the north down into the tunnel.
Yes.
Yes.
Away from you.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I was just making sure whether it was like, it was like a Hansel and Gretel situation, which sounds like it is. But yeah. Hold on, how do I D&D Hansel and Gretel?
It's that fairy tale about Bill and Ben, the flower pot Gretels.
Yes.
There you go. Totally flawless.
So after my investigation, so this is like a crystal thing that like you use when you do magic and stuff to give you a little bit of a boost, but like you don't snort it or like take it or anything, like it's not drugs.
Thank you, Rhea.
But it's helpful. But it doesn't make sense as to why it's here. And like a trail.
Do you want to like gather it up then? Like, is it useful to you? Do you want to take some so that we have some?
It's more useful to very, very new casters.
Yeah. Well, as I've got this and I pull out my druidic focus, I don't really need this
What is your
anymore.
druidic focus?
It's some feathers stuck to a piece of cord
Well, deep.
with some crystals and shit on it.
Some macaroni.
It's nothing
and that.
fancy. It's macrame.
Okay.
A functional focus.
Macrame
Some-
with some shiny bits on it.
Ron Seal focus. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. So, crack on.
We have no need for fancy shit. Yeah, but since I have this, I don't really need this. Anyone else do any spells that need like stuff for them? Because this could be helpful.
Not.
If Remy moves, I'm gonna.
Remy does twitch. I'll be honest. Remy's kind of like one hand's on the an empty
Don't
vial on his
even
bandolier.
I was like,
about
if I
it.
notice him twitch, I'll be like, not you,
But
and just stare him down.
I healed you, and then he looks at the floor.
Yeah,
Aw.
you just about
Good.
because you weren't even sure.
I'm gonna look
You
at
were-
Rhea and
You
go.
were concerned.
You did heal you.
While they're talking, Etheria. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of just listening to them talk, and then their voices go dim. Like you put your hands over your ears, and you can just say as they're all talking and waving the crystal. Hey, up, Moth. Right, Pingu. That's not Moth. Anyway, you're all plasticine people. So,
I'm a clanger.
While you're Jesus, the Moomins. Fucking Moomins. As you're watching them all converse, two orbs just from behind you just appear in front of you, made of complete shadow, and they just sort of bob in front of you, tennis ball size. You try to reach out to them, see what they're doing, and it feels like they're mist and smoke. Your hand just passes through them, but as it does, your scales kind of go rigid, as if mimicking hairs on the back of your arm popping up. Then you look at your scales. The bright pink of them dims and dims to an almost translucent. If there was a light on the other side of your hand, you think you could see straight through your hand. That's how much of the pink of your scales dissipates. These orbs are of arcane shadow, and they clash together, forming a larger one. And they disappear. And then on the ground in front of you, a small fountain just manifests, like maybe a foot high, this fountain. And there are dragon sculptures all around it, this stoneworked mini fountain. And you see on the top the orb bouncing around. And you feel empowered. Like when you cast your magics, that surge of arcane energy that flows through you and erupts from fingertip or mouth or eyes or around you, whatever it is you're casting. And you see that font of magic in front of you. And it just dissipates, shadow just hits the floor like dry ice all around your feet. And then the sound rushes back to you and you can hear them talking.
Just look at my hands and see if the colours come back.
Almost immediately.
It's very odd. Let's file that away for later. And walk off to Bjorn very quietly.
Anything else down the southwestern
Did you
tunnel?
stop when they all started talking, or did you keep going?
No,
It
I
keeps
kept
going.
going.
It keeps going. But it is, what you notice is it's going down and kind of bending to the right. It's not like an immediate right turn, but like a long right downwards. But so far you've walked maybe 100 feet and it's still going.
I will stop then and return. I was just making sure there was nothing immediately behind us if we had this tunnel to our back.
Okay.
For example.
You make your way back up and you just see Rhea holding this feathered druidic arcane focus and some crystal in the other hand. You do notice that Etheria was probably stopped for a little moment and you turned around. You didn't see any of that, just Etheria.
Mm-hmm. Etheria? Are you okay?
Yeah, I think so.
You look well. If not confused, and do you like your eye, by the way?
Thank you. Don't know what's going on with that yet. I'm not sure what I feel about that, but
Suits you?
thank you. I feel... It's been a long day. I feel tired, but I feel... energized. Better.
I feel slightly drained. If we are to push on, I would think I would prefer perhaps a small rest.
Yeah, we might need that. And if we come across any more of them things, you might want to hang back. We can deal with them.
I think I will be okay after a short rest.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to others and get them to sit down then, I guess.
So you see Etheria and Bjorn return from the tunnel. Nobody's kissing. Grow up. And they make their way back towards you lot. What are you doing, Althea?
Can I take the empty potion bowl that Remy gestured to on his like bandolier, and take it off him, like, and
He
then
won't resist.
start collecting some of this magic dust for him.
Okay.
Aw.
You start putting some of the crushed crystal in there.
Crushed crystal, magic dust.
If
Yeah.
Rhea even gives me a funny look, I'm just going to stare at her.
So, are you short resting?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
If people need to.
As you are kind of just looking around the place, you've got eyes on the three tunnels. You scoop up the crystal. The rest of you kind of just position yourselves just to take a breather.
I gather up the bodies of the snakes.
You'll lose your short rest because that's physical exertion. They're 12-foot lumps of meat.
I'll do it. I'm fine. I'm just sneezing. I will examine the snakes if Bjorn says that he would like them looked at and bring them up.
Whilst you rest. Okay, so
Yeah.
you are more than able to do that
Thank
amongst
you,
yourselves.
Althea. Thank you.
As Althea is dragging these things with relative ease, just
Over my head.
into a pile, so they are nearby
Like a boa.
enough for the 6 of you to do whatever you so wish with 12-foot snakes. Fizz.
Yes.
Everybody, you pause in doing what you are doing, as you can hear a whispering in the air, and as you look to see where the whispering is, it's coming from around Fizz. The light around you, Fizz, gets sucked in and drawn, and there is a element of shadow that pushes any remaining light around you, and you're kind of isolated in this bubble of very dim light in this shadowy realm. You can still see your companions not far from you, not clear as day, but they're there. You instantly grip the warhammer in your hand. Your other hand reaches for your shield instinctively, and you stand there battle ready. The image of a tall, thin, feminine-like creature in a long, hooded red robe, drenched in blood, the hood pulled right over their face so you can only see the small chin, pale white skin, deep red lips. You stand for a moment and recognise your deity before you, the Red Lady. Everyone else, you see this avatar, maybe 6.5 feet tall, stood in front of Faze, ignoring the rest of you.
I recognise it.
Yep, same.
We'll get there in a sec. This
No,
image,
I do. I did see it, sorry.
this image starts to change. The red robes kind of whip around and take a different form. Holes appear all over the robe and shrink as metal links bind themselves to one another, and this hooded, red, blood-dripping robe becomes scarlet chainmail from head to toe, well, thigh. Armour covers the Red Lady. The hood now a coif of chain. Long, dark, braided hair just whips out and settles on their upper chest. At the end of this braid, there is a long, thin, stiletto-like blade that when she whips her hair again, you hear it whip in the air, and then rest again, as if it's got a mind of its own. And you just hear in your mind phase, no one else hears this, war is ours. And the Red Lady mists in red, and you are left. The light returns. You are no longer bubbled in this shadowy realm. Everyone's staring at you, and that is where we're going to take our break. Boom. So during the break, kids, I would like you all to level up to level 2. Boom, 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 boom.
But rest as well.
You will get a short rest. Yes, we will do the do you recognise them when
We
we come
resting.
back. So. Thank you very much for watching so far. We're going to have a 10-minute break where I get a cup of tea and go to the loo. Whatever these lot are doing, they can do that. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Alright, they're going to level up to level 2. Shouldn't take them too long. And we'll be back. So see you shortly. Love you all. Bye-bye. See you. Don't go away. Come back. Thank you, Uli. Go get more people. Go get more people.
Yay!
Right, we'll be back. Break time. Oh, during the break, you'll see an advert for the GS Con. Yes, GS Con. It's cool. It's cool. I love it. Just watch it. Welcome back. Here we go, part 2. Right, this is session 2 of our campaign When Glory Is Not Enough. They're playing in our homebrew world of Colossus. They're in the nation of somewhere, they don't know yet. It's supposed to be Atoria, but there ain't no snowy mountains in Atoria. And yet here we are. You are deep within the mountain. You have fought 3 12-foot snakes of various statistical flavours. All 3 of them are 2 heads and attacked you without any real tact. They just attacked. You've defeated them. You were having a short rest. You all reached the lofty heights of level 2. You all done your hit points and stuff? You all good? You ready?
Uh-huh.
Lovely.
I rolled a 5.
Boom. So you're rolling hit points, yeah?
I'm rolling.
I did fixed.
Cool. Just Althea shaking her head. I'll take that as a whatever. So yes,
sorry, not rolling.
you've got your short rest. Sorry, go on, Ray.
Really quickly, because I transformed into a snake, do I have to take off one of my wild shapes?
Not this time.
Thank you.
But any
Just double
future
checking.
ones. Partly because I forced it on you.
To be fair, that's pretty sick. I'm not going to complain.
Thank you, Kestra, for the 2 rerolls.
Oh, wow,
Thank you
2.
very much, Kestra.
Thank
So
you.
now we have 3 in total.
Thank you.
Kestra's
Yep.
put my kids through college.
Oh,
Trust
you
me,
bitch.
400 bits is all that we needed. Yeah, you're on your short rest. The last thing you saw was a avatar of the Red Lady go from wearing a blooded red, hooded red robe to scarlet chainmail and a bladed braid that flung about and then faded away. Etheria and Ray, you asked me if you recognise it. Please give me a religion roll.
I'm good at these. Ooh. Religion.
14.
Plus 0. 19.
I love how excited you are. Plus 0, yes! On your 14.
Like, I recognise it from combat, because I saw
You haven't long been out the forest, and any talk of you will know of a Red Lady, but there are many stories and tales, especially from the Fae, that will mention such a person. The Lady in Red, the Warrior in Red. There's lots and lots of connections. As many as Ray could possibly think of. You've probably heard of the Red Lady mentioned in a story. As for you, Etheria, the Ravenholm Pantheon, which is kind of part of your teachings across, in Vey and stuff, is to know things about everything. It helps you keep focus, it helps you respect other cultures, it helps you interact with them. The Pantheon in Ravenholm is 4, and one of them is known as the Red Lady. They are the head of the Pantheon, if there was such a thing, or is referred to as the most prominent one in Ravenholm. Mainly in the northwest of the country.
Can I tell that everyone's seen this?
Oh, aye, they all looking at you.
I'll just stand there and sort of scratch the more human side of my head and go, I don't think I could grow my hair long enough to put a blade in the end of it. Don't think I could pull it off.
I don't think my hair would take it either. I'll snap one off.
Althea just looks at her very long auburn hair and is like, yeah, one day.
You could totally pull it off. You probably couldn't whip yours, Etheria, not very well anyway.
No, but it might hurt if I whip someone with it.
It
You
would
could break them off and throw them.
definitely hurt someone if your pure gemstone hair slaps somebody in the face.
So
Don's trying to work out if he could fit an axe, grow his hair long enough to tie an axe to the end of it.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
I just sat there with axe like.
I rolled a 6, so that's going to be a 5.
Yep. You could
Cool.
totally grow your hair long enough to
Yep.
braid a great axe into it and swing it around.
There's going to be a grog beard situation.
Possibly.
Only if he does more push-ups. So,
As a daily intelligence check to see if you can braid the axe into his hair yet.
so, what are you doing? Your hour passes. Nothing else interferes with this makeshift stop you've had. These snakes are just laid there dead. You moved them all over. Were you doing anything with them? Like,
Just checking him around.
just Althea clearly just, keeping the
Working
muscles
out.
warm. Yeah, that's it.
How many press-ups do I have to do to get a +1 to my strength stat?
4,000,006.
I do 4,007,000 press-ups.
Just bench,
Give me a
just benching these
constitution
snakes.
saving throw.
I will perhaps take like a carefully, if I can, take like a fang from each of them. That might be pretty cool. Remy
That'll
might be
be
able to
3
use them.
separate rolls.
It's fine. I'll do it.
Which one are you doing first?
The red one.
The fiery one. Cool. Give me a survival check. As Althea, the gladiator, is well practiced in defanging 12-foot snakes. 15?
16.
16?
I would have thought, gladiators don't always fight other people. Sometimes they put some beasties in there. And, yeah.
Surgically remove fangs. I mean, it's
Yeah,
definitely
pretty much.
niche.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So you rip the fang out. Just brute force it, rip it out. And yeah, you have this fiery fang, and it's really warm in your hand, as if it's been under heat for a long time. There's no actual flame, but it's real hot to touch, like hot metal. You take a point of fire damage, but you do have a fang that is still hot in your hand, and it then starts to fluctuate between really cold and really hot. And Remy just sort of like, don't touch, as you sort of flinch as he comes near you, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? He just he's pointing at like the root that's still within the fang. I could do something with that.
I weren't getting them for fun, Remy. I was hoping that you could.
he opens his this pouch, and he's got several little pockets within it.
Several fangs.
Just several fangs. He's like, just put it in there, and I'll sort it.
What are the
Such a
skills like?
weirdo. And I'll do the same to the other two. Like, can you use stuff from them as well? Is that?
Yeah. I can make alchemical concoctions out of anything.
Sure you can. That's what I'm afraid of. And I'll go for the other two.
So you go for the poisonous one next.
Why not?
Cool. Give me a survival check. You lot just watching her rip them out of its mouth, yeah?
That's 13.
Cool.
This is why I asked. I wanted the snakes nearby, just in case.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
You prick
18.
your finger.
18. Cool. You take 2 points of poison damage, but you do not poison yourself. So it just scratches your skin as you, again, just really surgically rip this fang out of the snake's head.
What are the skills like? Do they look hard, useful, or just?
They look snake
Soft.
scales.
I don't
They are exactly other snake. There is the only difference than maybe seeing some of the smaller grass snakes back home is these are just bigger, and they don't have a tail. They have another head. But the actual like makeup of them is just large snakes. Yeah, you don't poison yourself, but you do take poison damage, and do you give it to Remy as well?
Yeah, in the bag.
Thank you. And the third? Does he looks expectantly?
All right. Fucking hell. I'm just holding my hand that's hurting.
Just going green. So the third one is the constrictor snake, and the two fangs are just like large blunt tusks. They hurt a lot with it trying to bite you rather than piercing. So rip it out. Be a bit harder to do. Survival check.
At 20, so
Boom.
21.
You rip it out. You've got this large club of a fang in your hand. Remy looks at it. That's just a tooth. You're all right. You can keep that one.
You fucking what?
Why do I feel like Remy is the adopted orphan child of this party?
You're gonna take that snake tusk and you're gonna make something out of it, even if it's a pretty necklace for me.
He takes the tooth and he puts it in a different pouch. Okay, Althea, I'll make you.
I'm like, yes. Good.
I will say that during your time of ripping all these teeth out, you just heavily footed stood on the other's faces and crushed the other teeth. So you have got what you can from the snake's faces.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna get any.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take all their teeth.
Can I have
please.
6 poison daggers?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's me then.
Okay.
Are you done with the snakes? Just
For now.
can I wanted to skin them.
Yeah, feel free.
It's going to take wrong accent. It happens a lot.
Okay,
Well, I'm
okay,
not-
face. Yeah.
I think we need a wrong accent counter.
Going to take a long
Mel.
time.
It's going
Skinning,
to take a
skinning
long
snakes does not
time.
take very long, as long as you get the cuts
You
correct.
think you can do it?
It's like taking off a sock.
It does. It really does not take very long. Cut around and then all the way down and pull.
We'll find
Yeah.
out,
Taking
won't
off
we?
a
Give me a survival check.
I'll assist with my dagger, my wakizashi blade.
You're going to skin a snake with a wakizashi.
Yes.
Cool. You're at disadvantage, Bjorn.
Beyond's
mean,
like, thanks, but
They're,
no.
they're very nice. They're very nicely made, but they ain't skinning blades.
They're very sharp, but
So
yep,
as Bjorn leans in, I mean the snake's massive, and he starts making the incisions, getting ready to think Etheria like, oh, I'll help. Comes in, wakizashi, puts the blade where you don't want it, just as you're about to desheath the snake. Some sentences you never think you're gonna say.
Welcome to D&D.
I am uncomfortable.
Disadvantage, by the way. I'm assuming.
Damn it, Etheria.
What was your high
We have
roll?
rerolls.
I
We have
want-
rerolls.
My high roll was a natural 20.
We're not using
Oh.
rerolls
What was
to
your
skin
low
a
roll?
snake.
It was a
We
natural
have
1.
3.
Oh,
Oh,
so
you had the opposite of me.
which one were you skinning?
The constrictor.
Because I see what you did there. Cheated and went for the one with no damage. Well played, sir. He's giving me the choice, not the fire one. So as you go to you've got it perfectly cut, and you're like, yes, right, Etheria, you're helping out. Cool. You just stand there, Etheria. Stand. Why have they got a sword in there? Ah, shit. And you move your hands
It's a
out of the
little
way
sword.
as Etheria brings this wakizashi in just to save your fingers. And it just slices into the skin, and it is a beautiful cut, but it cuts through the scales and the top layer of the skin, as if if the theory were deliberately doing it, it's a hell of a slice, but it has fucked up your skin in.
You wanted it in 2, right?
There's 2 more.
Could you help in a more observational capacity?
You mean not help?
No, give me guidance and with your eyes and your words.
I think you want the little dude for that. I'll sheathe my blade and go sit down.
I will try the fire one.
Okay, you're gonna try the fire one. Valk, are you helping, and how are you helping, if you are? I mean,
I'll step forward, just having never seen. I don't think anybody ever skinned a snake before.
it's not a common thing in Cruel, I'll be honest.
Because they've called it over. I'm like, the Viconian positions himself over the second snake creature. This time, sure that he will get his cuts right. And that's it. That's literally it. I have no inspiration.
I'm not giving you advantage. But I'll give you a +2.
Little bit of advantage as a treat.
That's cool, I'll take it. 19.
19, cool. As you listen to those wonderful, inspiring words with no supernatural effect from Belk, you
That was Eddie to Rich.
skinning
more than
it is
anything.
not easy in that you're just in a cave, and skinning a 12-foot snake is, yes, it's quick to skin a snake, but skinning a 12-foot thing, I mean, the stuff sticks, it's hard, you get stuck in. But I will say you've got enough skin to make maybe 2 forearms worth of something.
What unit of measurement? A forearm.
Well, I'm going to say a foot, but maybe not. Well, my feet are size 12.
And I'll go for the
Cool.
The
You are
final
tired
bit.
from skinning now 24 foot of meat. I mean, bukkake.
To be fair, I didn't skin the first one. I kind of gave up after Etheria fucked it up.
Self-defense. We'll call it self-defense. So this one will be slightly more difficult.
Okay.
You will notice straight away the first incision, little seeping of venom and real thick, like honey thick, seeps out from beneath the scales when you just cut into it, and a little psst of a venomous gas, some sort of glandular shit going on beneath the skin. I mean, it's proper Steve Irwin stuff.
Alfea's like shaking her hand, going, "That one hurts." Careful.
So while he's cutting up the first one, I'll try and pay attention to like where he's cutting and things like that. And as he moves over to the second one, I'll be like, emboldened by his past success, the Viconian steps forward to take another stab. And like, I'll move forward to where he is. But as he's doing it, I'll try and like be. So if he goes to cut, I'll be like, he remembers he did not cut in that place last time, and things like that. If he's starting to cut into the wrong areas.
Give me a performance check.
17.
17. It's a different snake, probably the same process, but you are now aware of there's a bit more dangerous element to this one. I'll give you another +2.
Bear in mind that I have the -1 first before I put the 2 on.
You bear that in mind, I don't need to. I've done my bit.
17.
17. Give me a Constitution saving throw. I know, mate. You've got loads of it. You've got con for days, mate. Oh, you will have it. You'll have con in days. Don't worry about it.
We have rerolls. We don't want you to just lose damage after a short rest.
15.
15? Okay. You take 2 points of poison damage, but you are not poisoned. However, the marks it makes on your hand, like, burn deep. But you're able to, like, wash it off as fast as you can, just a bit of spit and a bit of a wipe. But there's still, like, a scarred mark on your hands that would be scarred if you weren't healed. And you manage to pull and pull. Give me... Roll a d4. I need to know what you got.
4. Sorry, I said 4. I did say 4.
Oh, right, it didn't come
I
through.
don't think the mic picked it up. Sorry.
All we saw was roll a d4 and you go.
You just sat back in your chair.
Why does the DM need to know these things?
Yeah, don't tell the DM your dice rolls.
Let him work it out for himself. Oh, cool. You died.
Tell me one way or the other.
So as you managed to skin most of this, you reckon you could probably get maybe a poncho's worth type thing, a short cloak, a wrap around a chest plate or something. That sort of size you could make with it, because obviously you
poncho
do
is
some...
a unit of measurement now. One.
How much material you got? Well, you could make a poncho out of it. Oh, cool.
1 forearm's worth
How
and a
much
poncho's
material you
worth.
got? 3 foot's worth of material. Well, what can I make out of that? A poncho.
Also, real quick one. You know that like the length of your forearm is the same size as your foot, right?
So?
Yeah.
It's
If you put your
also-
foot
It's also
up to
not.
your forearm,
Yeah, I've
It
done it.
is.
I have done it, and it's not.
it is.
Do it
That's
now.
average. It's
Show
average.
us.
It's average. It's average.
He's like, hang on a
I will
minute.
put money. I'll put
It's
money
not.
on it. That Eddie's,
that what your
Eddie's
missus
forearms
says?
are bigger than his feet.
Oh wait, I'm giving out feet for free. Hold on. Pitch my banner. There we go.
It's not. It's
It-
not.
it's
It's not
not.
a thing. It's not a thing.
Literally.
Oh,
Mine-
it
mine-
might be on
My
average.
forearm.
You have little feet and little forearms.
No, put your
No, I
elbow.
don't.
In
Look at
put your
Eddie's- look at
heel
Eddie's.
in the crook of your elbow. Put your heel in the crook of your elbow, and your toe will reach your wrist.
Yes.
Oh, if you put it in
Look,
on the
right,
Yeah, yeah,
in
you've got to
the
put it
chat,
on the
look at
inside.
chat,
Yeah,
look at
yeah.
the chat,
Because
look at
that
the
is your
chat.
forearm.
Look at the chat.
You've got to put it on the inside of the elbow.
Jellysaurus. Mine
It's
isn't.
about 50. That is a lie, Jellysaurus. Don't you even start.
I'm sorry. Oscar Whiskey's is better. How far to the shop? So it's about 15 punches away.
Well, that's because you got re measuring it.
No,
15 ponchos,
then
one
it's sketchy.
forearm, and a shoe.
Becky's forearm's bigger than a foot.
15 ponchos.
Have you just seen that?
Yes, I'm
Back
literally
in the
looking
room,
at.
guys. Back in the room, guys. Back in the room.
What the fuck is going on?
Shit.
I'm crying.
Oh.
About an inch and a half too short. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
Not a lot of people. Everyone. So, with your long forearms and short feet, what are you doing next?
Roll up the skins, put them in my pack, and look around at everyone else. So, have you spent this time deciding where you want to go?
I was watching you.
I think
Where are we going? Are we going in the crusty corridor, or the fungal one, or the other one?
we should go
Crusty.
down the crusty corridor.
All for Krusty?
I
I
think
think perhaps that was the way they came in and deposited the crystal, because the crystal does not then lead into this cavern.
Well,
So
but
that was their-
we established the crystal came from the north and was trekked into the cavern.
Yes.
We've established that.
Yes.
Yeah, if they came
So-
in, that
so-
means there might be a way out that way.
So that was their entrance. They came in that way. If they were coming into this cavern, and
Maybe.
It came from the north. Maybe, yeah, could be.
But if they came in that way, there might be a way out that way. We can figure
Could
out
be a
where,
way out this way.
where we are.
No.
So
I'm
that way
thinking
then?
about the bodies.
I'm just gonna shoulder my pack and go
So which way
Go
are
where?
you going?
north.
You're
The
gonna go
crusty
through
cavern.
No, the crusty cavern's the one we're stood next to.
The northern one.
The northern one.
Oh,
We'll go in
yes.
Krusty Cavern.
Crusty Cavern Woods.
Krusty Cavern.
Wow.
Name of the episode: the crusty cavern.
I think we killed Ray. She's not okay.
I feel like we are
the
saying the same
Ponchos
things.
thing.
I feel like both sides of our argument are the same,
You're
but
both
we are
saying
still
exactly
arguing
the same thing.
for some
Yes.
reason.
I've just watched you skin snakes for 20 minutes. That's... Eh.
Should have thought of something more productive to do, and I'm just gonna carry on north.
Face just red ladies him to the face.
With my hair. Ha!
With a warhammer on the end is a very different weapon. You're going with it, just so you know, Face. You're gonna go with it. So as Bjorn starts heading north, are you all following? Are you all doing anything else?
Yes.
You're just gonna follow, right?
I'd like to keep an eye out for any more snakes or any enemies sneaking up on us.
As soon as I see Bjorn going in the Krusty Cavern, we're going. I'm literally just straight after him. Let's go.
You all head through the north tunnel. It is exceptionally, maybe 20 feet across, easily 4 of you, maybe Velk.
Gaping cavern.
It's a gaping cavern. You all put your meat inside the gaping cavern.
Beautiful.
Gaping crusty cavern.
Gaping, crusty, gaping. You're all gaping. Alright?
How many ponchos wide is this?
I don't know, Ray. You're the one that measures in ponchos.
We established a poncho's about 3 feet, I think.
I
Jesus.
love how Jelly is just not enthused by this at all.
As we continue onwards, I'm going to cast or use my Eldritch Sight to cast Detect Will. Detect Magic,
Will.
sorry, at will. Detect Magic.
Will is sat in a little hole in the wall,
Will.
just staring at you with his beady little eyes.
Detect Magic, sorry.
You detect magic. Phase's religious item. What do you call it? Holy symbol. There you
Face
go.
is religious. isn't it?
Phase's religious face. Holy symbol pings. What else have you all got? A lot of
Remy.
Remy pings.
Remy exists.
Remy
Yeah.
pings. Just in an aura of magic. There are gaps in that aura. Like some of the magic might not be magic. But we don't know till he pops it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Guessing I glow.
What about Velk and his special necklace?
Actually, Rhea does glow. Like, not but there is an aura of magic about Rhea that is not attuned to any school that you're aware of. And Velk's necklace hums. Do you get school on detect magic? Divination.
Okay. Which we surmised anyway, so I'm
For fuck's sake, Eddie.
just gonna go with it.
Okay. As you potter along, detecting your magic, what's the range of it?
30 feet, I believe.
Cool. As you potter along, the walls, I mean, you must go for 20 minutes. That's a measurement of time, Ray. You must go for about 20 minutes, and the walls themselves start to show pockets of this crystal growing out from it. Almost like mushrooms around a tree, but just pockets of it popping out near the stone walls. Just a straight tunnel ahead. More and more of these crystals start to... As you walk past them, you notice that they react. Some of them get a little bit more... there's more jagged edges coming out of the wall. Some spread in a wider patch on the stonework. You see now where the walls meet the floor, that a few more of them start to pop up and grow, just as your reaction. But it's this crystal shard that's just coming out of the stone walls. And there's a cool breeze ahead of you. You're kind of walking into this breeze, which is a very surreal thing to experience.
And there's no... Can we see any signs, any further signs that someone's moved through here before? Footsteps,
Give
more
me an
crushed
investigation
crystals.
check.
Sure thing. I really need to learn these stats. Oh, yeah. Return to form with phase, that's 5.
Cool. There's no, like, footprints that are, it just looks like stone floor at the minute. You're having a, scale moment again.
I'm having a religious experience
Yes.
at the moment. It's fine.
Still trying to get over the avatar appearing in front of you.
Mhm.
Anybody doing anything? You're just pottering along.
Just forging ahead, following Bjorn.
Cool. Bjorn, up ahead. What is your... Can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Cool. 60 feet ahead of you, it goes pitch black. You walk for another 20 feet. 40 feet ahead of you, it's pitch black. You maybe take another 5 feet. It's now 35 feet ahead of you, and it's still pitch black.
I am going to stop.
Cool.
I've got 120 foot range. I'm guessing it's still this pitch black.
Do the math and yes.
Yeah.
The only darkness I've never been able to see through has been created using magic. I cannot determine where it is coming from.
What's yours, Etheria?
I have 120 foot of dark vision.
But it's not Devil's Sight.
Don't believe so, no.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, SM, you can't see through it, yeah.
It's Eyes of the Dark. I have dark vision to 120 foot, and it doesn't change till 3rd level. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
it's just dark vision.
I would like to pick up a rock off the floor.
Easily done.
I'm going to cast light on it,
Okay.
and I'm going to lob it into the darkness to see what happens.
Oof, gone. Pitch black.
Hmm.
The tunnel that you're in, it's still full of all these like crystals that are dragging out more and more of them now. But it's still 20, 25 feet wide, and this wall of black in front of you.
I am going to transform into wild shape of giant poison snake, please.
Badish. You see Rhea. Now, this time you do actually see it over here. Rhea take form of a very large snake.
Jesus fucking Christ.
A horned nose viper.
Mace is
Wicked
just
Witch's
going to go,
body shifts once again.
so pretty.
Gonna look down and go,
But
What the fuck? Remy's just staring at Etheria. Althea, Rhea now looks like some of the local snakes that you see just in like marketplaces.
The
and
local
such.
wildlife.
Just real.
Local giant ones.
Yeah, you never see one this fucking big, but yeah.
I would like to move up to where this wall of black is.
So you slither up to the wall of shadow and darkness. It is just a wall, like someone's just... It's smooth, there's no rippling to it.
Perfect.
Rhea, if you're going to stick your head into it, would you like me to hold your tail?
I ignore it. What can I see?
Do you put your head into it?
No, but I do have blind sight up to 10 feet.
So you only know if something's within range. There is nothing setting off your blind sense, your blind sight.
Okay. So there's nothing moving in there.
Not that you can sense.
Okay.
I will. Sorry.
I'm gonna slither over to FaZe and just kind of stick my tail out a little bit.
Okay, we'll grab hold of Rhea's tail.
You stick your head through?
As long as I don't get beheaded. Yeah, sure.
That's not a prereq you can put in there.
I will, if you promise not to cause me any damage.
Yeah. As long as I level up, I'll do what you want. You put your head into this darkness. You open your
Anything
eyes,
first?
you have a look. Still pitch black.
I'm gonna walk up near them and cast a light cantrip again on my axe and see if that magical light has any effect on it.
That's what I did.
It does not.
I already tried that, Bjorn.
You have your deity, I have mine.
You think your deity's better than mine? I'm still holding Rhea's tail at this point. You think your deity's better than my deity?
No, just different. Things can be different without being better or worse than the other one.
Yeah, but they're not a lot of the time. It says.
Remy stood behind Alfie going, yeah.
How long am I? I never thought I'd have to ask that question.
Two ponchos.
Fairs is holding you.
Okay, that still doesn't.
How many ponchos?
Poncho being 5 foot.
You're 2 ponchos.
I have 2 ponchos. I would like to wiggle to be at least 1.5 ponchos into the blindness.
I'll move forward and allow this.
So, your tail is just on the outside of the dark, with Fairs holding it, and you've got more like 3/4 of yourself in. Yeah, it is pitch black. You're still slithering on the cave floor, but there's just no light. Absolute pitch black.
Let's back out.
You back
Yes,
out.
sir. If snakes could shrug their shoulders, I'd be shrugging my shoulders. I'm trying to figure out whether it's worth I accidentally die or not. Screw it. I'm just gonna go back in.
I
If I
think we
die,
should
I
just,
die. I'm down.
I don't think we're learning anything here. I think we should just go.
I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself and follow the snake.
Why don't we all just hold hands and walk in?
We've got rope.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
I grab Remy's wrist.
I'm still holding on to Rhea's tail, so I just follow
Oh,
Rhea
are you all chain linking to go into the?
Yes, into the
Yes.
the magical darkness. Yes, we are.
We think this is a great idea, and we're on board.
See the potential with it.
I'll just send a message to Becky for new art. Right, so as you all chain link
I'm
up
playing
and
a wizard next.
walk into the yes you are. As you
With
all walk
high-
into this magical darkness, none of you absolutely pitch black. You step into it, complete darkness.
Hello?
I was going to say, can I go, hello?
I'm guessing sounds okay.
Give me a perception check.
Which of us?
Nope, just Ethereum and Fears.
I'm like, without sight, the heroes stumble around the cave.
At disadvantage as he starts gobbing off.
Thank you.
Okay, 14.
10.
It was 18. Thanks,
It
Falk.
It was still 10.
So 10 for you Ethereum, what for you Fears?
14.
Deeper and deeper they go.
You can't have triple disadvantage.
That's
As you call forth, nothing responds.
But we can hear each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't affect sound. It is
Yep.
as if it is magical darkness.
Remy.
Yeah,
Wouldn't normally are.
I wonder if I can vial some of this.
Yeah, Remy. Wouldn't normally ask, but you got anything that might be able to dispel magical darkness or just magic in general?
Give me a
have a
D.
pop.
Roll a D6, Althea.
Please tell me that Remy is on the very end of this chain link.
One.
You rolled a 1.
Remy is next to wherever I am.
I will tell you if Remy's got a
I'm
potion.
edging away from wherever I think Remy is.
Pretty sure I'm on somebody's back.
I have a
Like
tail
it
if
or
you want
not.
to jump on that.
It's on Althea's shoulders.
You can
Like
jump
it.
on my tail.
Yeah.
Does the detect magic show up any item that this darkness is emanating from?
It does not.
Okay.
And Remy pulls a
Keep
potion.
walking.
Oh God.
So
Just gonna take his face in my hands.
you can hear a like clinking of glass as you assume Remy is maybe, and then he's like,
Right. Give me
one,
what could it be? What could it be if it is not to dispel magic?
Althea, he
Um,
might not even be able to see the bottles he's pulling out.
It's
He
not.
has no
it's
idea.
not. It's not dispel magic.
What is it?
It should be like daylight, so it'll counter
Okay,
as magical.
okay.
It'll be like a stronger version of
So
what Beyond
that's what it
and
should
Faze were
be.
doing. It's
In
just-
Snake, I
have-
just
have
hiss
I
out,
been
we're all
wrong?
gonna go
Have I
blind.
been wrong?
No,
Yeah.
you haven't been wrong, but you've never been sure. So what could it be if it is not that? What
It's-
similar coloured liquids do you have in that pot? In that
Yeah,
bag?
how
I've
can
got
he
loads,
see,
but
Althea?
It's pitch black, but I'm very confident.
How?
Well, you rolled a
Do it.
1,
Do it.
so I'm very
Do it.
confident.
The cohort eagerly waits the breaking of glass to
Do you
see
want me
what
to-
pain awaits them.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
Do it, Remy.
I'll do it in case it goes really wrong. I
Re-
don't want them to blame you.
It reaches
I would
out.
rather them blame me.
He reaches out for like you, gets your hand and he presses into your hand a small glass vial.
I would like to close
you,
my eyes.
You hear Remy step back twice.
I cover my eyes.
Such a dick. Yeah, I'm gonna cover my eyes like that and just throw it at the floor.
Cool.
Face plant.
As it hits the floor, you hear a Can you all? Ah, in fact, that's not how that works. Give me a sec.
Oh god.
But fully expecting her to launch it somewhere else. I'm just smiling wide-eyed, like
This is fine.
not to drop it right below us, just in case it's not the potion that we're on about.
No, what kind of a lunatic?
I'm gonna let you know that int is my dump stat now.
20.
Fireball.
Well, we still have 3 rerolls. 3.
There is
So,
6 of us in this party if we have to make
27.
consos.
Who's got the lowest hit points?
I don't know. I've
I'm
got
on 19.
14.
19, 14. Shout out.
Not me then.
Oh fuck.
What you on?
Is it
I
Anyone lower than
fucking
14?
sleep, innit?
Anyone lower than 14?
Yes, because I'm
My
a
ass.
giant snake.
So what are you on?
11?
Cool. You fall asleep. Who's next?
Wait.
Who's next? Who's above 11? 14, did you say?
14.
You fall asleep. None of the rest of you get affected. So Rhea and
Question.
Faze, yeah?
Is this a magical sleep?
It is on your snake. Oh, but you were Faye. You're fine.
Ah.
In that
Yeah.
case, you don't fall asleep. So who's after 14?
I'm on 19 currently.
16.
But
What's
who's-
Remy on? What is Remy on?
That would be funny.
Yeah, so
All the bottle of
it's
smash.
definitely Remy and Faze then fall asleep. And there's not enough hit points left to make anyone else go. Although it would have been Bjorn if Remy wasn't there. So, Remy, you just heard a woof as he hits the deck. You hear a clashing of metal and warhammer as Faze, you fall asleep. And them two are magically put to sleep. The rest of you feel a little bit woozy, but you are fine. You two are unconscious. Roll a d4, Faze.
Are we still in darkness?
You are.
Didn't work.
We were holding on to them, so we'll have felt them drop.
A slight
over in the
panic
chamber.
ensues
You
as the
definitely
party
felt them drop.
drops to the
You
floor.
still drop.
I rolled a 4 on the D4.
Cool. If you leave Faze alone, she'll regain consciousness in 4 hours.
But we can slap her awake.
Yeah, if you want.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Sleep isn't that bad.
I have no issue with you beating your teammates.
Are they snoring?
Faze, do you snore when you sleep?
A bit, sort of a.
Gentle.
Not a.
Yeah, that's what
You know,
you
not
hear.
that.
Remy is Dracula silent.
I'm gonna go on.
I
you
think
go,
he's
Tim.
dead. I can hear Faze, but I think he's dead.
He's not dead. I'm going to like search around in the darkness in the vague direction that I saw.
It doesn't
Remy
take long.
leave.
You're all tied together. You just feel like tug on the rope, and you were close enough to take the potion off him, so you're clearly tied closer to him.
I just bet he took massive steps back as well, didn't he? So...
He took 2 steps back.
Go on, you go, Tony.
I'm going to try and find Faze. I'm going to find the face. Then I'm going to find the ear as I'm feeling round, and then I'm just going to go.
And Wet Willy.
Yeah,
Cool.
I figured that might be a way to wake someone up.
It doesn't, because she's magically unconscious. However, well played.
Well, I thought that'd have worked.
I'm going to punch Remy full on in the face.
Yep.
What's
that
your,
not working,
what's your
I'll
strength
also
modifier?
+4.
+4? Right, so you do 5 points of damage to Remy.
I'm going to slap
You hear a
Faze as well
crack
with my
as
not
you
working.
break his nose and fracture his eye socket.
Idiot.
He kind of just gets up, and he's like pulling broken teeth out of his mouth now. And he starts reaching around for something. You can hear glass clinking on his chest. What happened? What happened? Spitting blood up.
It would daylight. Sorry, Tony, go.
I'm going to slap Faze.
You do it. Are you just slapping Faze?
Yep.
Cool. You take a point of damage, Faze, but you wake up. Bit of a sting on your cheek. Which side did you hit? Which hand did you use?
Right.
Use your right hand. You take a point of damage as you slap a soul-forged metallic face. So you both take a point of damage, but you're awake, and I think it's funny. So.
Ow!
Thank
Thank you for the follow.
Who hit me? Why did you? Why am I on the floor?
I think you fell asleep.
Who falls asleep in a cave?
What's your face made of?
Metal and stone.
Come with me if you want to live.
Ah,
What's your face made of? When I stand up,
I'm not fully sure. Scales and crystal, I think, but that hurt.
I would like to gently poke Etheria in the face.
Give me a
aiming for the
dexterity. Give me a dexterity save. Just a dexterity check. Sorry. D20 plus dex.
Because I can't see.
Because you can't see, so you're just prodding.
Dexterity check. Yeah, it's an 8.
Cool. Finger up the nose, Etheria.
What does it feel like?
It feels like you put your finger in someone's nose.
Your face is squishier than I expected.
Sent the D&D I signed up for, kids.
That wasn't the face.
You literally handpicked this as a group. What did you think was going to happen?
It's alright, I've got an Eddie. You'll save us, Eddie. The hero drops his pants. And I was wrong.
It's all gone wrong.
So while you're level 2 in it, in the magical darkness, poking each other in, Wet Willy's in the ear, fingers up the nose, punching, your alchemist.
I've carried on forwards.
Why?
The rope goes taut, as these lot haven't.
I wasn't tied in.
Or have you just decided you weren't tied in? Cool. Right, so...
Bjorn
Bjorn,
comes out, cut the rope.
Bjorn, as soon as you lot tied on, Bjorn slipped out of his knot and carried on walking. You walk for about... From entering the darkness to leaving it, about 60 feet. You go out the other side and all of a sudden are assailed by bright white as all of the walls on the left and the right are covered in this crystal. There's hardly any gaps to see the actual colouring of the stone mountain colorations you saw before. And ahead of you is an enormous cave. Doesn't seem to be any tunnels leading into it or such, but there is just large 8-foot 12 poncho length crystals popping out of the floor. This entire cave looks like it's been swarmed by this this crystal, this hollowed crystal that Ray was inspecting before.
Step back into the darkness.
Yeah.
Let my eyes adjust. If you follow the sound of my voice, I have found at least one way out.
I'll
Okay.
grab Remy by the wrist and follow the voice.
Onwards the adventurers stride, into the darkness, at the words of the Viconian.
We're already in the darkness, little dude.
Come on, little one. Scruff the neck. Let's go.
I follow.
Cool. 2 secs. 2 seconds. Entertain chat. Talk about ponchos or something.
We all
We
need to
love
buy a poncho
ponchos.
before next Monday.
We are
I'm
now...
going to be needing a t-shirt that just says, I measure 3 ponchos.
15
I
foot?
don't know why I'm 15 foot tall, but I measure 3 ponchos.
We all
yeah.
need to be wearing ponchos next week.
Yes.
We are sponsored by ponchos.
Just all ponchos.
Mine's gonna be one of those like anorak material things that you get in a vending machine at like on a
Oh
log
my God.
flume.
With the
I've got one of
You
them.
need
the little thing.
I got
Hey,
one at
I have-
download.
I have one of those, but then I also actually have like a mustard yellow poncho.
I don't think
Good.
I...
Good.
I have a poncho from downloads, and it's not 5 foot. It's about 20 foot. It's the size of a tent.
Tony, it's 5 foot. It's just you're not very big. You know.
We all need to be wearing those
Probably
next
true.
session,
Those are some sexy ponchos right there.
and we are wearing them.
Right. So you
Poncho.
pop back into the darkness, and you say, "Follow the sound of my voice." What's the plan?
Yes.
To just all
Following the voice.
Cool. You
Yeah.
follow the voice. What are you doing beyond? They followed you to your voice.
Now what?
Step back out into the cavern of crystals.
Do you say anything?
Well, I'm gonna continue to say this
There we
way.
go. I was
this
so
way,
hoping you were like,
this
no. I was
way.
like, they ain't got a clue. Hey, I'm JS Gon. Hey.
I'd like to walk like this.
You do that, nobody sees a thing.
No.
You all walk out the darkness and assailed by a bright white, exactly what beyond. The crystals are everywhere now, absolutely dominating this cave in front of you. It's just a swarm of it, like an infestation of this crystal in this cave.
Sorry, did you just say an infestation?
Yes.
Of crystal.
If you all go over to roll 20, please.
Ooh. Another map.
We said we didn't need
The
roll 20.
infestation isn't. It doesn't look like it
And
should
there.
be there, or does it look like a natural
Right, so
formation?
the map should change. Thank you for the follow, Spec 206.
Mm.
Good to see Mr. Heavy at work. Doing my best.
He's not working. He's barely making it.
Wow.
Look at who you've got to work with. Come on.
Never blame your tools. So you lot enter this crystalled cave. You should be able to see the new map. What do you do?
Does there appear to be an exit?
Only the way you've came. From where you can see right now, it's just jagged in front of you. Give me a perception check.
13.
13. Notes jumping out as a way out of here.
Step into the room and investigate them.
Cool. As you begin to investigate, and you get to, let's say, here, you see this strange wiggle of marking here on the map. I don't even know if that's ping. Is that ping? It's not pinging.
Yeah,
on
it's
that.
ping.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's not pinging on mine. Is it pinging? Whatever.
It's definitely pinging.
Cool. So when you get to that area, what you notice straight away, young Bjorn, is the runic drawings on the wall seem to have been put there by a very sharp implement into the crystal itself. Having seen that the crystal was hollow when Rhea was inspecting it and you saw a bit of it, to be able to inscribe on the edge of these crystals and not break it to get to the hollow part has probably taken a bit of skill. The runic style looks Viconian, but you do not recognise any of the runes. Give me a history check.
Uh, 19.
19. Knowing what they are, that they're runes of at least cousins to a Viconian runic lettering, you just remember some of the teachers where the shamans would interact with those that were giant-blooded, those like Goliath-type folk from the Pride Mountains, and one or two of the runes remind you of the mountain shepherds. That's about all you get from the runes that are on that crystal.
Head back to the rest of the group. I think there are perhaps giants here. Or
Giants?
at least there were once upon a time.
The ceiling's about 20 foot from where you are up.
I think back did the way the crystals were crushed look like it would have required a very heavy foot to have done it?
Somebody of a decent size, but not possibly. It might not even be booted. It's just there was some heavy, like, application of force as somebody walked through this crystal.
The path bit there. So on the map, like, does the path curve round to the left that
Yes.
we can't see past? Like, is that
Yes.
actually like a? Could I go and have a look around to
Yep.
see the other side of that?
So I will zoom out.
Could I go
will-
with
I'll
Velk?
follow. Yeah, I'll follow as well.
So you can go, if you follow my pings, you can go round here. The white stuff on the floor is more crushed crystal and snow that has fallen in, which means snow is close to surface. So as you
There are
get
no
round-
cracks above?
Doesn't appear so.
Okay.
Is there anything else in that kind of wide open room?
Give me a perception check.
15.
Cool. On a 15, what you see is up here an alcove, a very large alcove that kind of just looks like there was a lot of crystal there, and when someone smashes through a wall and it leaves the jagged outlines, that's what it looks like over here. The floor itself, you see these speckles of gold and copper and bronze and such on the floor?
Yeah.
It's as if someone has thrown like almost coloured stones on the floor and then resined over the top of it. So it's a smooth surface is this floor here, all this, and underneath you can see these different coloured gold and copper and brown, bronze and stuff, stones.
I assume it's very pretty.
It appears to, well, it's up to yourself, but it does glitter through this resin-like, translucent resin across the top of it. Almost like an ice rink.
2 questions then. Can I hear anything moving that's not us? I know we're making some noise moving around, but can I hear anything else?
Give me a perception check.
I'll be like, as she's doing it, they all look up and see an alcove. Smashed crystal. Is it a way out?
40.
14?
Oh no, sorry, perception check.
Yes.
16.
Cool. You can hear the silence. It's that quiet.
Okay. And is there any more, that was the other thing, is there any more writing on the wall round here from what Bjorn said he saw earlier?
Give me another perception check.
Okay.
This one's sight-based.
This one's less good. 13.
The alcove that's crushed in, the crystal that would have been in the way, you can see some of the broken bits on the floor have some sort of writing or letters on it. I mean, you're an academic. There is something being on it, and obviously when it's been smashed, you can't see the full forming of the glyph, the letter, the root, the whatever it may be. But it's definitely been applied to the crystal, and you see that across the way.
I'll just go, Bjorn, there might be more writing over here, since you managed to translate some of it. Maybe you could put something together?
Wouldn't say I translated it, but I think I know of its origin. I will come.
Worth a look.
Is that
I'm
where you
gonna-
get to, Fizz? Do you run up to there, Fizz?
If I'm looking at the alcove, yes.
So as you get to there, you can see it from back here.
Well, I'll move up.
So as you get to there, everybody freeze. As you get to there, in the alcove that you can now see now that you're really close,
Oh.
Right.
there is a very, very large bear. Its fur is grey and white, and there are patches of this crystal that seem to have been crushed into its fur. Its eyes are pure orbs of red. And as you get to that alcove area, you can see that there is a tunnel of sorts behind, but the bear is blocking it. Its eyes focus on you assume, and you just hear a... Can you all roll initiative, please?
As we're rolling for it, I just go, Velk, not immediately a way out! Oh, what is wrong with my initiative rolls?
An exciting twist.
So...
Sure is.
Right, let me just do this.
Yeah, Bjorn. Same. As you know, I'm 11.
Right, so let me get some stabby music going on. Right, I'll turn that down.
Rich,
I like it by
your
default.
dice are really pretty. I appreciate those.
Right. Let me just
Why do you
sort.
appreciate my dice?
The ones on D&D Beyond.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky.
I
Ignore it.
don't use
Right,
that one.
Velk, what you got
There we go.
for initiative?
I've done it again. I got a natural 20. 23. 23. Wasted.
Fizz. Fizz.
Muted.
I muted myself, sorry.
Cool.
8. Nope. Yes. Yeah.
Etheria.
11.
Bjorn.
That would be a 10.
Okay, I actually thought the bear were going last, but alright. Raya.
14? No, hold on. 11. Sorry. Couldn't do math.
Althea.
An unnatural 20.
Unnatural.
Unnatural. So an 18
30.
plus 2.
Dirty.
Ah, go on, Remy. Right. As you all, you hear the. You can, from where you are, Vel, you can see a couple of red, very large glowing orbs in that alcove area in the darkness. Not magical darkness, just dark. And you react first. Bam, bam. What do you do? You guys are going to want to grid, aren't you?
Because so at the minute, so I only Faye's only yelled back that it's not an immediate exit, innit? So I can just see red eyes and not an immediate exit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So at this point, I will say, Faze ponders, telling the rest of the party what imminent danger might be around, and then I'll draw a bow and just hold my action ready to fire my short bow if anything comes out of the darkness that I can see it more, that looks like it's going to engage Faze.
You're going to shoot anything that comes out of the cave, yeah?
That, like, if it looks like it's going to engage Faze.
Alright,
Like, so if it
cool.
Yeah.
Get ready to roll. Althea.
I'll probably step up to do it, by the way, like, because it will be, so the cave entrance, how far can I shoot, actually?
5, 10, 15,
I've
22,
got 80 foot
35,
range,
35,
so it should be
you're
fine,
miles
actually.
in, mate, miles in.
That's good, that's good.
Althea.
I am going to pop up to, I think, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I should be able to get to there. Did I hear
You have to
the-
go round this.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
5, 10, 15,
20,
20,
25. Yeah, okay.
30. I'm assuming, did I hear the bear?
You will have heard a growl, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to, similarly to Velk, let me just check some distance. 220, so that's fine. Oh no, it's up to 30. Yeah, I'm gonna hold my action to, if something comes out of the cave and FaZe looks in trouble, I'll lob a javelin.
Okay. Can you throw a javelin that far?
With disadvantage, I can.
Okay. Cool. So it's now Remy's turn. Remy hears it, kind of looks around, instinctively grips some of the glass vials on his bandolier. Runs to you. This will make you stronger. And he passes you a
Remy.
potion, and the liquid is grey. And that'll be his turn.
Cheers.
If I die, I want to be Remy next.
I've got one of these.
This large crushed crystal covered bear, fucking hell, I couldn't come up with a better name than that, steps out of the alcove into combat and goes to swipe and bite at Fizz.
He's a Care Bear.
Velk, can you fire your bow, please?
Free action. Can I go bear?
It's not a sheep.
14. 14 to hit.
14 misses. The arrow hits it, but doesn't take purchase in its thick fur and meaty flanks. You're lobbing your javelin at disadvantage?
The
This
meaty
was,
bear.
ooh, a 15 and a 16, so a 21 to hit.
21 hits. Your javelin knocks the arrow out the way and stabs into its flanks.
For 5 piercing damage.
5 piercing. The javelin sticks in and then just falls out onto the floor. As it hits it, Faze, you notice that the crystals get a shimmer of red, same colour as the eyes, just flicker through the crystal and disappear. Like Kit out of Knight Rider. Totally fantasy. It will then step into you. It will claw at your face, because there's no one else here. Oh dear. 23. You will then take 8 points of slashing damage as it just slashes into your... You put your shield up and your warhammer, but it still gets through and catches you.
I don't have my shield equipped, so yep.
Are you just what? Alright, cool.
8 points of slashing damage, yeah?
Yes. And it, unless your AC is 12, it does not bite you.
It is not.
Cool. So the bite comes in and you just kind of put your forearm in the way and it kind of crunches on the armour but doesn't actually make any damage onto you. But that's its go. It's the crystal again shimmers red and the eyes kind of pulse as Rhea. Are you still in snake form?
I'm still in snake form.
Cool.
I am going to number 1. I am going to slither up. Let me just check. Yeah, slither up 30 feet. Oh wait, I'm a professional. 30 feet, and I'm a bite, please.
Like,
That's all I've got, so you'll have to go with that. So go on then, you try
Oh,
and
look
bite.
at the cute little snake.
You can control
Okay,
that
no,
now.
that's cute.
Yeah, you can control it.
Perfect.
So you bite it.
Yeah, and that is 21 to hit, please.
21 hits as you bite
very
down.
much.
You feel your fangs sink through the fur into the muscled flank.
Amazing. I need to find out my D4 at some point. And then that is that's 4, so that is 6 points of piercing damage. And then can you please make a Constitution saving?
So there's 6 points of... 6 points of what? Piercing?
Piercing, indeed.
Constitution saving throw. 19.
That is okay. So should have just rolled the damage anyway because I forgot this.
What's that, 3d6?
It is 3d6, so that would be 4 points of poison.
Have you already halved it?
Yes, I've already
Yeah,
halved
cool,
it.
cool. Just checking. Boom. It does take it. It just obviously is quite a sturdy creature. Etheria. Large bear.
It's a bear. I'm gonna cast Chaos Bolt.
Cool. What does Chaos Bolt do?
It's chaotic.
Nice one. It fails.
I'm gonna hurl an undulating, wobbling mass of chaotic energy at it.
Nice.
I'm reading this. It's 2d8 plus a d6.
D8 plus D6, and the D8 determines the damage.
Yep.
So, the outcome on the D8, you get to choose.
I love Chaos Bolt.
Yeah, it's
Velk.
pretty cool.
Velk. Your book, your, almost backlit permanent book, as you're stood in this proximity to Etheria, when she casts her spell, the light of your book kind of draws to the action that Etheria makes. Kind of, and then just returns as normal, not diminished or anything once the spell's been cast.
11 fire damage.
Did you hit?
Oh shit! No, the top on it.
Isabella's rich. Roll a dice.
shit.
Go, roll
What?
it. Nice one.
Oh yeah, ring spell attack shot. Sorry.
So,
18.
18 hits. So your
Oh,
chaos
yay.
bolt. What was it?
Yep, 11 fire damage.
Fire. Your chaos bolt shoots across the gap between yourself and your companions fighting this large crystal bear, And yeah, the fire just erupts all across its fur, and you two can smell cooking flesh. It just kind of doesn't like it, but it's still coming at you. You got anything else, Etheria?
I'm going to. No, I'm just going to stay there and wait. Yep, that's me.
Cool. Bjorn, you would have to run round the crystal.
Is there enough space between everyone just to go straight through?
If you got to them, yes. Where you are, no, you'd have to run round.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm going through the small passage,
You can get.
would I have to?
You can get
I
through.
can
them.
get through.
You can get
Okay.
through. They'll duck and dive and weave out the way while you go sprinting through.
Yeah.
There'll only be very, very specific circumstances that they don't let you through. If that makes sense.
Okay. We'll get to there. I'm going to Eldritch Blast the bear.
Cool.
Eldritch Blast.
That is going to be a pretty good one. Give me a second. There we go. Eldritch Blast. That's going to be a 25.
That hits. Your Eldritch Blast doesn't like straight line. Straight into the face of the bear.
Okay. And that's going to be 10 points of force damage.
This bear's just getting assailed by our companions, Raya and Fizz. Fizz, it's your turn. All your friends heard the bear and jumped in and threw arrows, javelins, chaos balls, eldritch blasts, all at this creature. Raya came up and bit it as it tried to rip your face off. What do you do?
Well, preparing a spell, I'd like to go. I don't suppose you're actually friendly. And
Late, but
I'd like a charisma save from the angry bear creature. Please.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Natural 16. No bonuses.
Fuck's sake.
Natural 60.
I'd like to force you to re-roll
give
it
me a
for
sec,
no other
give me a
reason.
sec, give me a sec.
No reason other than that. I think you
14
should.
minus 2. 14.
Yeah, well, the save's 12. So.
All right, well,
natural
cool. I
14.
tried. Right?
You did try. All right. Because I have taken some damage, I'm going to attempt to bug out and step back.
As you attempt to bug out and step back, it will swing its large paw at you.
Yeah, try and move 4 ponchos away if I can.
Cool. You get nat 20'd.
Ooh.
Oh,
His face is fully going to be unconscious.
Oh, it's tasty. They don't like you. You take 13 points of slashing damage.
Oh yeah, I go. "Ah!" I'm unconscious.
Cool.
Oh.
As FaZe tries to step back, the bear just and slams into FaZe, and you just see blood just anime from her chest as she hits the deck. Velk.
The first of the party drops, the frenzied beast's mind ablaze, but it's somewhat unfocused. And I will cast Bane at the bear if it could make a charisma saving throw.
4.
Is now baned.
Bang.
Boom.
I will then move. I'm gonna say 20. I could move. I can move 20 foot forward, can I? Yeah, I reckon. So.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I don't want to run straight into the fray and make myself a massive target. I'm gonna move 20 foot forward towards the bear, just to allow for a bit of room.
There?
Around.
You alright there? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'll leave it there.
Althea.
I'm going 30 foot forward to there.
Cool.
And I'm going to lob another javelin.
Cool. Throw away. You're not, I don't believe, at disadvantage anymore, are you?
Should be no within 30.
Yeah,
So should be
cool.
fine. Yeah. So that's unnatural 20.
That hits. Your javelin again sticks into its flank.
Oh, yeah.
For 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing damage. Boom! It sinks halfway down the javelin into its front chest bit. Is that you done?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you not take the potion?
No.
Remy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Come and give me more if he likes.
Remy looks hurt.
Remy
I feel like
Offended
one
either.
day we're gonna regret that.
I still have the potion.
Remy's rummaging around. He starts reaching into his pouches. You can see Bjorn and the theory. You can see Remy kind of doing mental arithmetic, just like counting the vials on his bandolier, and he grabs one that's like plum purple is the liquid, and it's got gold flecks in it.
Jesus.
Ooh, that's pretty.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
No, because I'm really close to this snake where he's probably gonna throw it. I'm really close to this bear where he's gonna throw this.
He looks at Althea. If I throw this, it'll heal them all.
Do it!
Not the bear.
He just looks at you. Yes or no?
No, not the
Do it.
bear.
Throw it!
He keeps
Do it, little
he
man.
keeps hold of it. He will hold his action. Well, it's not until the bear's not anywhere near them two. It's the bear's turn.
Hey.
I'll just
Everyone's
keep
away.
being here, unconscious and
The
stuff.
bear will bite down at Rhea's snake form, not liking being poisoned, for a nat 1. So as it goes to bite you, just like, whip out the way, and then it'll claw slam down at Faze.
Oh no.
God, AD is out to kill me.
12 with advantage.
It doesn't hit somehow.
The claws slash into the resin, the smooth resin-like floor, and ping off it like a bullet of bulletproof glass. It kind of does that ricochet off. Doesn't make a single scratch, dint, or anything on the smooth, polished floor that Faze is currently bleeding out on.
Phew, resin floors take ages.
Rhea, snaky Rhea. It's just trying to bite you and just trying to claw Faze.
I'm a bite.
Go bite.
Well, that's another 21, please.
That's another hit.
Yeah.
I just like hearing you say it. That's all.
Bite that
there's-
bear, snake bird.
It's a very niche kink, but yeah, right.
And that is going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points of piercing.
And
What is
then
it?
your
A con save?
con save, please.
Nat 1.
Fantastic. You take 11 points of poison.
Shit. Does it get poison or is it just poison damage? I think it's just damage, isn't
It
it?
is just poison damage.
Yeah, cool. You see the green like veins race across its bright red orbs, and there's a cry of anguish in the bear as it now focuses everything on you as you've poisoned it twice now, and clearly it doesn't like being attacked from within. You doing anything else? Just straight up tanking the bear, love it. The mighty warrior from the arena. What are you doing? Ranged?
I'm on my way, alright?
If someone could more drag phase out so then I can leave, that would
Yeah.
also be great, but I'm not leaving her there
So
to
you're
get
gonna
like
stick there.
Aw.
Matter.
Just
only
so
other
you
friend
know,
I have.
I think, yeah, you can. Just so you know, I don't know if you know this, Rhea, but in wild shape form, you can use your bonus action to cast heal yourself. Is it, Eddie? The Circle of the
Casting.
Moon. They can
You
spend.
won't get, have you got Circle of the Moon already?
Yeah, level 2,
Oh,
level
yeah,
2,
yeah.
level 2.
Yeah. You can use your spell slots to heal you.
Ah, yeah. So if you, as a
Circle of
bonus
Moon
action,
rocks.
you can use a spell slot to heal yourself. A D8, I think it is. It's, I don't know if you need hit points, but it's just so you know that that's one of your cheeky special powers as a moon druid.
Moon rocks.
freaking magic.
Aye, Etheria. Your friends have moved up.
Um,
And they might not be
yep.
friends yet, but the people you've been stuck in a mountain with have moved up.
They bemuse me. Um,
The moves.
I'm going to go Chaos Bolt again, I think.
Okay.
Chaos Bolt! I fling my orb at it, and I get a 17.
Just hits. Your Chaos Bolt just, as Rhea's just like, it just goes through like the gap as she moves to her left, and you hit the bear.
Ooh.
This is the most tank and spank fight I've ever seen. Don't let it have the cave!
Ooh, what power do I want this time? I will go... Ooh. Force damage.
Force damage. How many was it?
12 force damage.
Woo! Big hit. Rhea, as you're there, more magic and javelins and such come flying over your head, whizzing past your scales, slamming into this bear as you're biting into it and feeding venom into its veins. It starts to actually waver and wobble on its four legs. There's no space for it to like rear up, but it is looking. It's fucked. Bjorn?
I'm going to move up.
I am going to rush forward. I'm going to use my action to dash.
Okay.
So moving 60 feet to try and distract the bear and offer it another target
Okay.
apart from phase. As a bonus action, I'm going to use Hexblade's Curse on the bear.
Which does?
Hexblade's Curse.
Do you get to choose some of its rubbish at?
No. It is cursed for 1 minute, but it basically means that I get a bonus to damage rolls. I score a crit on 19 to 20,
Okay.
and if it dies, I get hit points back.
Cool.
But I am, as I'm
Do
doing
you have to
this,
kill it, or is it if anyone kills it?
just if it dies,
Okay.
while it's cursed.
Yes.
But while this is happening, I am going to call to everyone. If you can keep it off face, I can heal her.
Cool.
And
Fizz,
that is the end of this turn.
can you give me the first death saving roll of the campaign, please?
Technically, that's not true because I believe there were some death saves rolled in one of the session zeros.
Yeah. I mean,
That was a
I mean,
zero.
if whatever you need to do to help the roll. Yeah.
Fuck me, it was a 2.
Not one though, not two.
Not a
Take
1,
it.
not a 1. That's
I was about to say,
important.
you could take a reroll. We have 3.
No,
Oh, no, you
not
can't use
yet.
one
Yeah,
death
you
save.
can't
reroll
I
death saves.
forgot.
It's okay, it's fine. There's a plan.
So that's one fail.
I would like to cough up blood in my unconscious state.
You do it with such drama that it's as if Shakespeare is risen from the dead next to you. As you see Faze's body sort of convulse and blood just spurt out, Velk, you ready yourself to act. What do you do?
I will step over to where she is, like so, just the diagonal one. Like, I can move.
Yep, yeah, you should be able to move.
Cool. Yeah. I will make a medicine check to try and stabilize her.
Ooh, cool. I will say, out of combat, it's normally a 10. I'll raise it a little bit for the combat.
Got a natural 20.
Cool. You fail. No, you.
I'm
Yeah,
loving it. I'm banging
you-
about this evening.
You are no longer dying.
As I do
But
it,
you are unconscious.
I'll be like, despite coughing up blood, her wounds do not look fatal. And I'll just, that's my action.
What you lot see is Velk speaking it, and he's kind of moving his hands around over. He don't actually touch her, but his quill is all over, like drawing lines across the wounds and such. And as the quill draws the line, the wound follows the line and closes. She doesn't regain consciousness. Roll a d4, Velk.
2.
Cool. You know from the work you've done, give her 2 hours. She'll be back on her own.
Cool.
Althea.
I'll say that, I'll be like, a good 2 hours rest should see her through. I'll also, in fact, still got a little bit of movement as well. I'll step back out the way to allow for like people to.
I've done my bit.
See ya.
Can I get into melee here?
No.
Can I get into
That-
melee here?
No. That's it's kind of in the cave, so you'd have to.
Can I be here?
No. Where the 3 are, them 3 are in the cave mouth.
So there's no place that I could be that would
Not
be.
not in melee. You got another javelin?
Can't do my shit. What would it be to drag Althea out to drag FaZe out the way?
Half movement speed. And I'll
can do
say it'll be your action to pick her up and drag her though. So your movement will be half speed, but it'll cost your action to pick her up.
But a good second wind, not second wind.
Good second
The other
wind,
one.
yeah. Action surge.
That's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that then. I shall
So
run in.
you step forwards 5 feet, grab her for an
Drag her
action,
back.
drag her
Yeah.
back. So you're now 15 feet used.
Yeah,
So you drag her back there,
yeah, and then I step in.
and that's yours. And now you're in combat.
And then I would like to action surge to attack with my longsword.
Cool, swing.
Can she have been pushed so she's still in contact with me, Dag?
Yeah. I'll whack her
What?
there instead. Is that alright?
All right,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
I
can heal her. Not on my watch.
Yeah. Not a chance. At 18 to hit.
18 hits.
6. Or, that is 13 points of damage.
As your blade slashes through its throat, just
Kill
under,
stealing.
you take its throat from out of its, just away from its physical form. It slams against the crystal on the left. Its glowing red eyes dim, and then the crystal across its fur starts to, the red light all over it. Can Rhea, Althea, Bjorn, and FaZe, you're out conscious, you automatically fail. Give me a dexterity saving throw, please. As this creature hits the deck and shards of this crystal just blow out from it.
6.
6, cool. Bjorn? I can't hear, mate, if you've said something.
It's muted.
19.
Cool. And Rhea, dexterity saving throw? Say again?
15.
15. I just heard the team. So Bjorn and Rhea, you take half. FaZe, you lose a saving throw. And Althea,
FaZe isn't on saving throws.
FaZe is taking damage while unconscious.
So
she
I go
takes
back
it.
to taking saving throws, and so I was stabilised.
Yep.
Now I'm not
No,
stabilised.
you're
Oh,
still
you're definitely
stabilised.
close.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Fine.
And Althea, you take full.
I'm just dying again. That's nice.
Sorry, what was the damage? Because I think when you rolled
I'm
it,
about to tell you. It's alright.
perfect,
So
sorry.
Rhea and Bjorn, you take 6 points. Althea, you take 12. 2 6s. That was like, okay. But you are no longer in a fight.
I immediately turn around and use my hands, or place my hands upon FaZe and pump 2 hit points into her.
Are you ASMR in it?
I am using my ASMR healing hands ability.
Cool. Behind Bjorn, as he kneels down and immediately pumps that healing light into Rhea, similar as you saw that avatar form, there is a
Phase.
phase. What did I say?
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. The one name that's not like the rest of them, and I get it wrong. So, behind Bjorn is the image of Bjorn in a long brown robe. Hood up and everything. Still see the beard and the hair, the tattoos, but there's a long brown tattered robe. Looks way too big for him to be wearing. Like he's wearing his dad's dressing gown. But yeah, he stood behind Bjorn, and then it just disappears before he's even finished healing FaZe. FaZe, you are healed with 2 hit points.
I would like to sit up and go and sort of go over and go. Thank you.
I
And,
have come to like having all of you around.
I really appreciate that. I prefer not to be dead.
I'm just going to stretch a bit and stretch out some aches and take my second wind and give myself 7 hits.
Okay.
I would like to.
You just
No,
see
you know what?
Althea like relocating a jar and snapping her shoulder back into place and being like, what? What are you
Next.
doing first, sorry?
No, I'm just going to go and sit in a corner.
So while you're
For a
sat
bit.
in here, there is a sound that starts resonating from the crystal.
Oh dear.
It's very low frequency, and you can all hear it and acknowledge it's there, but it doesn't seem to be a bother. Raya, give me a roll a d20 and add your level.
15.
15.
But then add 2 because I'm level 2, correct?
Yes. So 17.
Oh no, so there's still,
Oh,
still
okay,
15.
okay.
Still 15.
That's all right. Okay. So, as you hear this and you see everyone's reaction and you know what it is from before, this is how it communicates with new casters. There is a symbiotic song that is shared, and it's like a tuning to something. The crystal lets out this low song to attune to a new caster. It sounds like the crystal is attuning itself.
Okay. How very interesting. Can I figure out attuning to...
From what you know so far and your experience in the forests, it has to attune to a caster. Like it empowers a caster. Small amounts of it have been used again to help new casters kind of get that extra oomph to make sure they can perform the cantrips and such. There's a lot of it in this cave. Like there's not enough ponchos to measure how much of it is in this cave, and the fact that it's all attuning at the same time means it's either a OD in young caster or someone is taking advantage of its presence, would be your guess.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Thank you very much. What I would like to do though is that while I'm still in scaly form, I would like to go up to phase, kind of cushion them with my giant bodies. They've got something to put themselves up on, and then I would like to cast Cure Wounds.
Cool. As the dark druidic magic envelops you, it's like being wrapped up in a shadowy blanket as Rhea comes over to you, and you do actually feel the positive energy of healing run through you. As you have that moment phase of awe, you look over Rhea's shoulder and you see Velk, and you see the necklace Velk is wearing go super tight around his throat, the gem now right on his Adam's apple, and he gets pulled up to the ceiling as if someone's above him pulling him up on the rope. Velk, you are now being hung as you claw at the chain, but there's not enough space to get your fingers in. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god, what's going to happen to my eyeball?
14?
Yeah.
You have 1 minute, so 10 rounds before you'll pass out. Velk is shot straight up to the ceiling. His little legs are going like mad, and he's pulling on this, trying to pull this chain off, and you can hear him.
Freya, I think we need your wings.
Before you
How
do
many hit
anything,
points? How many hit points did I get off the cure wounds?
9.
Before you...
so you
Thank
get
you.
9 points.
Okay.
As you see Velk, your lovely bard, being hung from the roof ceiling of this crystal. It's only 20 foot up. This crystal cave. That's where we're calling the session.
Oh,
I've only got 10 rounds this week. I've got to wait.
Oh, you'll be dead before they get there.
by the time we get
I'll
back,
send you a
Velk's
text
gone.
in 10 rounds. Man. Wow.
60 seconds.
So, you went the other way. Right, that's it. That's session 2. Session 2, kids.
Yay!
We've invented
Did a
new
lot
measurements.
more.
Fuck the metric system.
No
All
scraps.
ponchos.
No scraps in
Ponchos
session
and
1.
forearms.
2 scraps in session 2.
You nearly had 3, but the bear was getting a bit like that was a fight. That bear was like, if it had got out, more damage would have been done. But the fact that you pinned it in, you're lucky I didn't get my breath weapon off. So, but yeah.
Bear with a breath weapon.
Well, it is a crystal bear, and you're in Colossus, my domain.
I'd have been dead.
You'd have been
You just
fine.
compliment me on how much of a tank I was, even though I'm squishier
Oh, you
as
were
a snake
you
than
were
I
badass.
am as a
Like,
druid.
literally, like just flying in as the chuffing.
You were just like, nah.
Circle of the Moon Druids are tanks, though. That's
That is the
Circle
whole
of the Moon
point of them.
Druids.
Yeah.
The snake, yeah, the snake's not got a lot, but and that one's gonna try to bite you. But yeah, you did. That was pretty clutch, to be fair, eh? Like running in as the snake or slithering in and just being like, "Come at me, motherfucker."
I was like, I'm not going to waste one of my wild shapes to literally travel through darkness and then be like, oh, I'm just going to go back to normal.
I think you get it for an
honestly.
hour, don't you? Do you get it for an
Yeah.
hour?
An hour.
Yeah, you might as well use it just in case. But yeah, well done. That was a mini.
And now
boss.
you've seen a crystal bear.
Yeah, it was a mini boss.
So next time you
yeah,
wild
next
shape.
time.
Or
Actually, no.
penetrating will be too high.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's the CR on it?
Well, there's 6 level 2s attacking it, so go get a calculator.
No, that's what DM's for.
Cool. It's 7.
Okay.
12,
ponchos.
2.
Poncho.
So, well done. You killed a little mini boss. That was cool. Next week we'll see Felk survives being strangled by the plot item he didn't throw away.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the necklace.
I'm gonna throw a javelin at the ceiling so he can just hold himself up on it.
All great plans.
plans.
Throw
Love it.
death at the little bard.
I can't tell him not to.
I mean, how bad has your day got that when you're being hung, your mates shoot you?
Hold yourself up on this.
So, chat, thank you very much for staying in and tuning in and heckling. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll see ponchos and poncho t-shirts. That's it now. That's it. That's career over, done with.
Yeah, heavyweight gaming on a poncho.
Heavyweight gaming ponchos. Brilliant.
Actually, now I've just thought we've got only gravy, now we need only ponchos.
Only ponchos.
Just ponchos, nothing
So,
else.
take care of yourselves. We're back on tomorrow. That the alchemists throw various potions until Velk is freed. I mean, there's a few left.
Yes.
When you
let's do
when you
that.
rolled the one, and it was sleep, I was like,
I'm just hanging there going, no.
Don't worry, Velk, we're coming.
There's a couple of
None of that.
potions that'll be very beneficial to you, or not. But yeah.
I love this lucky dip with Remy's
Daylight.
potion. Daylight.
Thanks for. I was so hoping you'd be like, oh, I can heal him, and you were like, if you want to say, what about the bear or not the bear? I was like, oh, there's a cheeky fucking 300 hit points on a bear. But
Not the bear.
but yeah, so well done. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Yeah, take care of yourselves, folks. We're back on tomorrow with Fables Among Titans, which is been going 60 summit sessions in Colossus. They're still trying to work out of character if this lot are in the same timeline. But who
I
knows?
think we're in the past. I think we're in
Who
the past.
knows? So yeah, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. So if you're still up for it, tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock GMT time or British time, wherever you are. It's now, just 3 hours ago now tomorrow. So yeah, take care of yourselves. Do all the
Episode
links.
86. Episode 86 of Needham on
86
Thursday.
Thursday. I am not streaming that. Yeah, so 86 Needham, Chronicles of Needham, which is Dice of the Beholder's homebrew world. So go check them out. Pushing the 100, kids. Right, take care of yourselves. Bye bye, players. Say bye bye, players.
Bye,
Bye-bye, players.
Bye.